What's going on, everyone? Happy Halloween. Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. Today we are going to be discussing, today we're going to be doing an AMA. You guys are going to be leading the discussion. Our Patreon supporters in Patreon have submitted a ton of questions. And if you're not part of that community and you want to ask us a question, we are accepting super chats that will have your question jump the line. We're going to go for as long as we can. It's Halloween. We got a couple costumes going on here. I'm wearing a Pikachu. I see Ash is here. We got Hisui and Zoroa. Yeah, but we want this to be a super...
That's a Zoroark, sir.
What did I say?
Yeah.
Zoroark.
Is it a Zoroark?
The fans will be mad.
It's like the little baby. I thought it was the little baby.
Nah,
No,
it's
that's
not
a
the
Zoroark.
baby.
Oh man.
Look at those
This whole
eyes.
time I thought it was the baby. I
look at
even
those
put the
eyes.
baby in our banner at one point.
I remember you putting
I didn't
the
like
baby in the banner.
You didn't like that? All right. You
No.
should have said something.
He just didn't speak up. Zora was in our banner for the longest time.
Well,
Soul's just chilling.
my name is Dusty Go Goat. I've also got the Lumios post here
Hello.
and Soul Silver Art,
What's up?
the master of the Zoroark, apparently.
Yes.
But yeah, let's before we get into our first question, I'd love to talk. I'd love to find out what you guys are going to be doing on Halloween today. What do you have any plans?
I have this as my plan today.
This is my plan.
I really don't have much going on. I don't have any kids or anything, but my friends do, so I might like go trick-or-treating with them and their kids
Cool.
tonight, maybe.
That's gonna be fun.
'Cause, what the heck, take
Yeah.
a walk,
Yeah,
have some fun.
free candy.
I live-
That's how I look at it.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Not too much
Yes.
though, but like definitely like a lot.
Well, they
Mhm.
won't give you any of the good stuff. You know, they'll just be like, here's a, old Tootsie Roll. You can have that one,
The kids
Yeah.
I'm with, they're a little too young. They don't understand the magic of like a Twix bar, so I can be like, you don't want that
Dude.
one. Give me that one.
A Twix bar. Oh, I need to get me one of those today now.
Do you have any plans, Lumi?
Yes. So I'm in an apartment complex. So last year we didn't have trick-or-treaters. I don't know if that'll change this year, but we have candy in case. But if not, then like y'all said, free candy, except I paid for it. Then every year we go to this restaurant. It's like got a bunch of Edgar Allan Poe stuff there. So, that's kind of spooky. And then it sits on a road that is allegedly crazy haunted. So we'll drive back on that road, and normally we go to the beach because the beach is now officially free,
Yeah.
starting at 7 o'clock October 31st. It's not paid to park anymore. But
Bro, you
I
gotta
found
pay
out
to
my
park?
wife, yes, at the beach. It sucks.
That's rough.
But
I mean
we
that
drive
happens
to a
in
beach.
Maine as well.
Yeah. We drive to another beach where we don't have to pay to park, but this beach is kind of the beach, so
Mhm.
But
Yeah, makes sense.
I found out my wife has never seen Nightmare Before Christmas, so I'm like, no beach. We're going back. And
Yeah,
we're
no
watching
beach.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Get a bucket of sand, dump it on the couch.
We've got some beach decorations in our room because we live, on the coast, so we've got beach stuff. She's fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I know every time you talk about like the culture or like you were telling, we were making a Save the Turtle T-shirt, and you're like, yeah, people wear these all the time over here, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like people wear
Bro,
those?
That's a genius idea. I haven't been able to read our chat.
Oh,
and I'm
actually,
like,
so
that's
actually,
so good.
Oh, it's live.
so we
It's
actually
live
made it. We were
now.
gonna promote it later in the episode.
But
it's
I guess
live.
we'll
I mean, I can
promote it
wait, or
now.
I mean, you can show it to me now.
I'll show it to you later. We'll show it to you
Okay.
later. Let's get into our first question, okay? So
All
this is by, where is it? This is by Jark in one of our supporters in Patreon. I kept saying Patreon in Discord.
In
Our
Discord.
Patreon supporters in Discord. Everything's
Yes.
in Discord.
And YouTube members, they're also in there.
Yes, yeah.
We made
all
it complicated because we have both.
We did make it complicated. So Jark asks, if you could choose one old feature from generations 1 to 7, he didn't say 1 through 8. Okay, 1 through 7, and bring it to the Switch. Okay, I see it. What would it be and why? For example, contests or an old gimmick? Man, contests are nice. Contests
Are they?
are a lot of fun. I think they were fun. I used to play that.
They were, exactly, past tense.
What are you
Or
guys
in
thinking on
Lumi.
this one? Let's cook it.
Are me and Louie gonna have the same answer? Maybe.
Oh, I'm sure we are. Battle Frontier.
Yeah.
Hands down.
But how? But like,
Or-
how
or
much
World
did you
Tournament.
actually
I don't want to
play?
be boring. I
How
wanna,
much
like,
did you
spice it
actually
up.
play the Battle Frontier though? That's I think that's
Well,
what is
okay.
worthy of discussing.
So I did not have an Emerald. I've played an Emerald, but like it was someone else's game, so I have not done the Hoenn Battle Frontier. However, but not by choice, but lack of ability. However, the Heart Gold and Soul Silver one, I lived there
Okay.
all the time. I love it every of the time.
For me, it's like I actually really like battling Pokemon, and I'm too scared to do it like publicly and just lose, and people are so much smarter than me in this.
Sure. That makes sense.
And so I'm just like, I like going up against the bots, you know. I like going up against the CPU. It's like I can deal with this, and I get to battle, and it's like kind of fun. So that's my thing. I wish that more than anything, probably. But I'm just thinking of like maybe we'll pick a second one just so that we can be interesting too. You know?
I mean, because he said feature gimmick, but
it
like
could be anything. It could be
would
like
separate
Pokeblocks.
those.
It could be.
I would say feature
Pokemon.
bring back Battle Frontier, gimmick bring back Mega Evolution.
Yeah, but come on, we've said that so many times.
Obviously.
So I want to say,
we said Battle Frontier. Look, I will be the cookie cutter Pokemon player and say I want a Battle Frontier and I want Mega Evolution. I rest my case.
And you can use Mega in the battle. So this is how it should actually be, right? We should get some sort of DLC. Maybe it comes in Gen 10. Maybe the Indigo Disc is actually going to be this, where we have this, and it won't be, but we have this beautiful battle facility, right? Where you have it's got all the luxuries. It's an explorable land of the Battle Frontier, but it's an in-world battle simulator where you can use all of these different battle gimmicks, right? And they all work together. That would be pretty big for Gen 10. Yeah, literally a world tournament
would be a good substitute for Battle Frontier 2. I like the Battle Frontier a little bit better because it's different battle styles, but World Tournament was like objectively incredible.
Yeah.
Literally anything where you could like just battle.
Right, and it sets your Pokemon to level 50.
Battle. Yeah,
like, I'm not talking about a repeat of the league, like going back and doing the Academy Ace tournament. No.
Yeah, I got you.
I love seeing all these lovely people in the chat. Like it's just blowing my mind that everyone's showing up live right now.
I know, I'm in there.
I was gonna say I remember the first time, right? So I had my in-game party. I think it was Gen 3 or Gen 4. It must have been Gen 4. And what did I do? I basically went online to battle some people for the first time, and I got crushed. And my heart sunk, and it was miserable. And I was like, I'm never gonna battle ever again. And that's not true, because once I started battling in real life, it was like a lot of fun. Probably because I started winning.
Yeah.
But I empathize. I sympathize with that soul about like wanting to battle offline. Subarashi, man, thank you for the donation.
Hey Suba.
You didn't even ask a question. He just said Happy Halloween.
Ah, happy Halloween to you, Suba.
Suba, you got a question, Suba?
He's the realist.
Suba, ask us a question. Your
supporting.
Your Blood Moon forms were so cool. I thought those were some of the coolest that you've done.
Dude, Blood Moon Pheasantipity, that art. Ooh.
Yeah,
so good.
That one was really good.
Yeah,
I like that one.
They're really nice. All right. So yeah, what would I think there's something to be said about Pokemon contests. I think I don't know. It doesn't listen.
They'd be great if they fix them. Like I saw someone in chat. I don't remember who it was, and I apologize because it was a while back on this chat. But someone said that it would be amazing to have like the contest be similar to the anime, and that wouldn't be that hard to implement.
Yeah, the anime was cool because it was like a battle, but you got bonus points for using flashy moves. Right, and I think that's what it is. I think there's like an appeal to having like another pathway that you could take in a Pokemon game, and we got that with Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet was like you can do gyms, but you can also do Titans. You can also do Team Stars, like barely anything. So I feel like they are going in that direction, and I welcome it. Right, I think yeah. Actually, honestly, with the Gen 5 remake. One of the other pathways could be you have to also do the movie star studio or whatever, right?
Pokestar Studio.
Yeah.
And listen, Team Star, that lines up with Pokestar Studio.
Yeah. Well, then there's also like it was kind of our first Unova remake before we knew anything about potential Unova remakes, but or our first hint at it was the Pokemaniac. Is it still called a Pokemaniac? That trainer class. and
think
Scarlet
so.
and Violet has a Pokestar Studios logo on a shirt.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, man.
'Cause people pointed that out and they were just like, cool Easter egg. But now
Yeah.
we're looking back and being like, hint.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Kayla? How you doing? Hope you're happy Halloween. Thank you for wishing us a happy Halloween. I bet Kayla. I bet you're dressing up like something pretty cool today.
I bet her costume's better than my hat.
Was it her? Dude, I saw a couple that dressed up like something really cool, and I can't remember now, but it was great. Anyway, I don't know if it was her.
All right.
I know she posted in
idea.
our Discord like a picture of her and she was a kid, so I think it must have been like a
Oh, when
sibling
she was a kid, when Kayla was a
dressed
kid.
as- Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she-
that might
dressed
have been it.
Yeah,
that
she
might
was
have been it.
Pikachu, and then I think her brother was Poliwhirl.
Poliwhirl.
I love
yeah,
the
because I saw the Poliwhirl and I was like, dude, a Poliwhirl costume.
The Poliwhirl costume was so sick. Just the fact that Poliwhirl had like was up and close and personal and like
Right.
the mascot of Pokemon. It was so cool. And then what was I gonna say? It was so cool meeting Kayla in real life. She's like even cooler in real life.
Oh yeah, you met Kayla too in New York. Yeah.
Like I thought I literally was
She's
in-
even cooler.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous, to be honest. It'd be
like
fun to
I
have
mean,
met
Soul, you could have come.
them. No.
Cole almost
No.
went. Fun fact.
I was very close. So close.
And it was like yeah, I
Dang
don't
it.
know. I was like actually nervous to meet people in real life because I'm like, oh, they could or I could stink or something, right? Not that I stink, but like I feel like people have sense. I don't know. I was worried.
No,
I'm
I
like,
get it.
I'm
I
meeting
get
all
it.
these people, and I'm like, I don't know what
That's a
they're like in
classic
real life.
social anxiety thing.
right?
Yeah, no, I get it. They're like, I'm Dusty Go-Go's biggest fan. Then they hug you and walk away. And like, never mind, that guy sucks. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But everyone was super cool. Kayla was awesome. I met her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was super cool. Her boyfriend was
Oh,
like,
Kayla's mom made the costumes. She said
damn, that's cool.
she did a great job.
That's really cool. It was really cool. All right, well, let's move on to our next question. This is by Drogain. I'm sorry, not Drogain. Draco. I'm getting these mixed up. Podcast Draco, our friend. He's actually.
Yeah.
I think I saw him in the chat earlier. What Pokemon do you think does not fit the type they were given? For example, I am on the Charizard should have been a Dragon Camp. Yeah, this is a good
That's a
question.
fair one.
I plan to do a whole video about this at some point. I'm currently
There's a lot of them.
waiting for an editor, but
Mhm. Okay, I think the number one answer is that, like, honestly, I would argue this is number one, is Graplock should have been part water. And the reason I say that's number one is because it's always swimming, but also because, like, it literally, like, it's kind of pointless without that. If it had had the fighting water type, because you think it was introduced in Gen 8 before the DLC, so for a while, it would have been the only fighting water type aside from Keldeo. So it would have been special. But no, it's too late now. We've got Urshifu, we've got Quaquaval, we've got Aqua Breed Taurus.
wait,
Too late.
is it not water fighting?
No, it's pure fighting.
Wait, Keldeo is pure fighting?
No, I'm saying Graplocked.
Oh, Graplock.
Keldeo is
Graplock.
water
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah,
I was saying
yeah,
Graplock
yeah, yes,
would be
yes,
the
yes.
only non-mythical.
See,
water fighting.
I think there's an appeal to it not being water type, even though it lives in the water. I think that is
There
special.
were too many pure fightings in that region, though. You had Phalanx,
were.
you had Graplock, you had Surfetched.
I don't know if that's like the worst offender.
Oh,
You know,
I am a
but-
big Graplock guy, so
Yeah.
maybe.
There's so many Pokemon that pop up every day, and I can't think of any right now. I'm gonna pull up a Dex.
The thing is with Graplock, it's like it's an octopus, and there's no like real land octopi out there. You
I
know?
love pie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh, it is a little
Kenway
weird.
said Lugia should have been Psychic Water.
Oh, dude, was it Ken? We were talking on the Discord about how like Lugia.
Feeling my
What do you
one.
guys think about this? Soul, as a Lugia fan, do you think Lugia
What-
is a bird? Because I don't think it's a bird.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey,
And I'm
you
not
should
making
make
a
that
joke.
your
I'm not
next
making a
shirt.
joke. If you look at it, it looks like a sea serpent. It looks like a dragon. It does not look like a bird. It has
It's
fingers.
not- it's really not a bird, but it's supposed to be like. It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a Pokemon. I mean, whatever.
It is a Pokemon.
It's
where, like,
undeniably a Pokemon.
That's
it
why
could-
I love it so much because it's so like a Pokemon of Pokemon. You know, like
Yeah.
it doesn't really make sense. It's just like monster thing.
I mean, I love that, like, the Psychic type fits for it, the Flying type fits for it, the Water type would fit for it, the Dragon type would fit for it. Like, you can slap almost anything on Lugia and it'll work.
Would you give?
I was gonna pick Lugia for my choice because I'm just
Okay.
basic, I guess. But I really just wish. It's because Lugia is one of my favorite Pokemon. So I wish that it had like a different typing other than that, because it doesn't really make that much sense. It's like, why?
What typing would you give it though?
I've always thought that, because it is tough. It's tough to like decide. I
A
don't know.
lot of
I
types
feel
will
like,
work for it.
yeah, I feel like Water Dragon is probably the best. I like the meme where it's like Palkia and
That's
it
true.
would
It's
like
flying
switch,
psychic.
switch
Yeah.
types.
Palkia and Lugia should have switched. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Because Palkia has wings too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an article right here. It's just a bunch of them, and I agree with a lot of these. Spinda could be a psychic type. It could have been psychic fighting. It could have been just fighting with Dizzy Punch. I think Ambipom, if not Apom, Ambipom could have been fighting type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Spinda definitely should have. That would have been cool. Just,
Yeah.
like drunk.
Just to give it
drunken
something,
There's
right?
there's so many like of these that you could do. Miss Magius could have been Go Psychic.
That would have been cool. Yeah, or Cosmic type. I think
No.
this is cool. Someone,
What is that?
I think Gigalith actually is pretty cool as a rock type, but I feel like, is it Gigalith that I'm thinking of? There's maybe, I don't know, there's a bunch of Pokemon that could have had maybe like an additional electric type, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. I think Blastoise is one that stands out to me the most. Everyone's always, I'm not Drogon, I'm sorry, Draco. I'm reading it, so it's confusing me. Draco said, obviously Charizard should be Dragon type. That's like a classic. But for me, I'm like, you look at the
At least they made up for it with the Mega.
Yeah, right. You look at the very next Pokemon in line, Blastoise. It has metal on its body.
Steel.
It should be Steel type. Like, it's a no-brainer to me. So that's what I would pick. That's what I would definitely pick.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one too, Blastoise.
So Suba did ask a question. Let me find it right here. Do you think we will ever get another game made by Ilka? Right. So we currently ILCA Ilka. I think it's called I Love. What is it? Isn't it called like I Love?
I love Ilka.
No. Doesn't Ilka stand for like I love?
I love candied apples. I
think
love Dipplin.
No, I think it actually does stand for. What
I
does Ilka stand?
International Laser Class Association.
Bro, I'm trying to think of some way to diss it.
International
No, I'm
Liver
not kidding,
Cancer
guys.
Association.
Ilka.
No, that's
Pokemon.
too real.
International Lactation Consultant Association.
I like that one.
That's what it stands for.
They can make their
No,
their mascot
listen.
Miltank, and we can
Yeah.
just hate.
It literally stands. It stands for I love computer art.
Bro,
Really?
That's
when
actually what
they-
it stands for.
that's when
That
they
is-
should have known. That's when they should have known. They should have been like this name.
No, it stands for International Lactose Consultant Association.
It
Next.
possibly. So Ilka, aka I love computer art, has created Pokemon Bank. No, Pokemon Home, and they've created BDSP, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Right? That's their track record. Do we think that they will eventually make another game? Because the camp I'm in right now, if I'm not looking at leaks, right, if I'm not actually keeping up to date, which I'm not, like, until I come on the podcast,
No, it's true, y'all. He gets on this thing and
He has
goes,
no idea.
"Hey, yo, Lumi Soul. So, like, what's
Did you
happening?"
I'm like, did you see this? And he's like, that happened 19 hours ago.
Yeah, that's you'll be like, dude, I saw where Koo said that like black and white remakes might be coming, and it's like, yeah, he did in July.
So
but it's good that way because then we get to.
it does, yeah. It's a discussion. Right?
We get a live.
Yeah.
We always tell him we're not gonna tell you. We're gonna get on air and talk about it so that we get like the live. Like he gets to react. You know.
Yeah.
So, do we think that they're gonna make another game? I feel like yeah. I feel like they definitely could.
I think they're done.
Never
think-
rule it out.
I would never rule anything out, but I think that they're done. I don't think the next one will be by them, and I don't think that that they'll ever make another one. To be honest,
Maybe
Unless they,
they'll
like-
maybe
really
they'll move
love-
them to spin-offs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
That
they
wouldn't
end
be
up
horrible.
getting.
If they
They
make a
would do
mystery
good at
dungeon
Mystery
game,
Dungeon,
I'm
yeah.
fine with that.
Mystery Dungeon makes
Because
sense.
I won't play it anyways.
Yeah.
Have them make the next Snap. Because I'm not gonna play that anyways.
All right, Dusty. Listen, no, y'all. We're on.
So
now, okay?
will
We're-
Ilka
we
make
a live
another
chat.
game?
make these people play
Will
new Pokemon?
Ilka make another game? That's what we're discussing. Like I don't, I'm just trying to fill dead. Yeah. I'll
Well,
play it.
if you
I'll play it
think
one
about
day.
it-
I'll play it one day.
They will make a new game. Ilka will, kind of.
Yeah, it
because
won't be
they will-
Pokemon necessarily.
They will help. They will make Pokemon Home's Gen 9 up or Gen 10 update.
True.
They will make Pokemon Home's Gen 11 update, and
I-
then at some point, Game Freak will go, "Wow, they're bad at even that," and drop them and pick up someone else.
But that's kind of I think that's kind of where my brain's at. I'm like, they're tied in with Pokemon. They know the Pokemon secrets now, right? It's like a secret society. Once you're in, you're not getting let go. Like that's how I kind of feel. I feel like Ilka is gonna get another shot
It's
at what
like
they
the
did.
meet the parents circle of trust.
Yeah, and if we like if we're trying to be cynical and we only look at what BDSP has done financially, it's a good game. It did well, and it did what it was said to be, and they didn't change anything. They did change some things, but whatever we think about BDSP, it doesn't matter. I think they're gonna be making some Gen 5 remakes at some point, maybe some Heart Gold Soul Silver remakes. Shout out to Drogain. He just became a channel member, an Arceus tier channel member for 6 months. Drogain says Ilka will continue to make software projects for Pokemon. Yeah, facts. Clearly.
I mean, they're still working on Home, so
That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Like they're not. They have. If the Ilka was a problem, I don't know, man. I'm like, there's so many things that the fans hate that like Pokemon will continue to do. There's so many things
Well,
that
I
the
mean,
fans
but
love
you
that
do also
Pokemon
have
will
to
stop
think-
doing.
they're
Home
still
could
failing
one
at
day.
Home. If that's-
Yeah, I mean, Home could one day become outdated too. Like, I mean, Bank
Uh-huh.
was the thing through the 3DS, and I think Home will be here longer because like it's also a mobile app,
Yeah.
so it's beyond the Switch, right? But I mean, they always could go, okay, well, the Switch 2 or whatever we're getting next is really advanced. So now that we've got Gen 10 on this console, they could use that as a time to drop Oka, right? Like they could go, now let's get this developer to make us a new thing that we're going to call Pokemon Prison because we're going to be honest about what it is now.
Sure.
Pokemon Jail.
Pokemon Jail.
Jark's defending me right now. He said the people who make Coliseum are making Cafe Remix right now.
A lot of people like Cafe Remix, I thought.
I mean, I don't play it, but yeah, people love it.
Great.
Did y'all
Not
see the
gonna
thing? Because Coliseum, correct me if I'm wrong, Coliseum is like that's the prequel to Gale of Darkness, right? Or the sequel?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
something. Okay. Well,
No,
like, those
Coliseum is the
games are
prequel.
a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I saw like this thing. It was a while back, but like Junichi Masuda, I think it was asked, like, hey, are you ever going to revisit Gale of Darkness? And he like
Yeah.
literally went like, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So-
I don't think we're gonna be doing that anytime soon. I think though, when I saw that, I think there are also times where Masuda has said the same thing for other projects, and then like 5 years later they like end up changing their mind and like get like developing something. So it could be that they're just not doing it right now, but if there's a fan outcry for it, right? I feel like Snap was probably in that same camp where they were like, we're not doing Snap. What do you mean? Like it didn't sell anything.
Yeah.
And then there was a fan outcry, right? Because that's really what happens. It's like a game is, and we're seeing that a lot with we're seeing that with Gen 5. We're seeing that with Gen 8 already, right? People don't like something, and then you give it enough time, you grow and develop with it, and then all of a sudden the people who actually played it, right? They become the majority, right? Who kind of ushered into the legacy of Pokemon.
Okay, hear me out here, guys.
Okay.
Gen 10, they decide we don't want to work with Ilka anymore on account of they do nothing right.
Tax fraud.
And they say, we're going to hire Umbrella to develop a new My Pokemon Ranch. That
That's-
is the
Bro,
best timeline.
That's exactly what I was gonna say before. Like a few minutes ago, I was like, better than Pokemon Jail. What if
Right.
they just made Pokemon Ranch? They just
Dude, yes. I would be so happy.
They could
That's
do
what we
that
really
though,
want.
but why make it a separate thing? Just like just add it to Pokemon Home, right? I feel like they're
Because you can't rely on Ilka to make something that's compatible with something else they've made.
yeah. I don't know. Pokemon Home would be so cool if it
or
actually
functional.
if you could do something.
Or
in it.
functional, exactly.
I use Home for the GTS, and I like that. I do like that a lot. I like how it's on my phone. Also, I can just like do it. Like I don't need to be logged in and spend my game time like like searching for things in the GTS, doing like admin Pokemon work, like I can just be out and about, and instead of like once I wake up, I do my dailies on Pokemon Sleep, and then I hop over to Pokemon Home, and then I like do my dailies there. But we got another question by Gendy, who super chatted. Appreciate it, man. We see you all the time.
You.
We see you all the time in the comments. So shout out to you. Thank you for being here. They say, "What up, Hidden Power Podcast? What are, in your opinion, the most underwhelming third stage Pokemon designs?" I was actually just listening back to our Gen 5 remake.
If you've seen the Gen 5 tier list, Conkeldurr.
No, that's not the most underwhelming one.
It's not.
It's not underwhelming because there's no build up to it. That's true.
He said third stage, yeah?
Third stage Pokemon designs.
Okay, I was thinking middle stage because
that's
of
tough.
Middle, but
I feel like Superior is that for me. Maybe not the most, but I feel like, and I don't think Superior is bad. I just think it's just like a big Snivy. There's no progression. It feels like.
This doesn't have to be starters though, right?
No,
no, it's just the third stage.
I mean, there's like literally 1,000 Pokemon. What am I?
I know. I'm trying to think of one myself. I feel like we got one in Paldea that was like kind of like, that's it.
Palmot. That's the one.
Yeah,
that is a good one.
Of all time. That's a good one. Second place is Kling.
No, I just have to think of,
okay, but again, with that, there's not much build up, anyways.
Well, there's no build up
with
Palmy.
Palmy was cute. Palmy was cute.
Listen, Kling could have been, or you have Clink. It's just 2 gears. That's like a perfect design, I think. Kling is just another gear behind it. That's lame. That's lame. That should have been like something else, right?
Drogain, are you in this chat? Because I'd just like to remind everyone, Drogain pointed this out. This is all coming from the man that called Sigalith, and I quote, cute.
It is, dude. All right, hear me out. Listen, you guys. Listen, no, this is what it is.
It's not
listen,
cute.
It is so cute. Once you realize that it has eyes on its belly, it's adorable. It's like Jirachi, and it has a third eye. So
we're doubling down on this.
It is cute. It was cute. If its eyes are on its belly, it's cute. But I don't think they blink, so I don't actually think those are eyes. They're patterns. In which case,
maybe they're just open.
It's kind of weird. I just listened back to that part on the Gen 5 tier list. I was just listening to it before this, and I'm
getting yourself hyped by like reading our
just like listening to you guys getting
our original,
I think some more underwhelming third stage Pokemon designs are probably, what was I gonna say? It was
you know who has a shot to be it?
Who?
So we haven't seen this yet, but I don't think it will be, but the Dipplin evolution could be the most underwhelming just because
really could
build
be.
up to it, you
Yeah.
know?
And because it might not get very much bigger.
Like,
right?
because they're here's the next one, here's the final, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, since
what
they're
are
reserving
people
it.
thinking, though? You know what I mean? Like, what is the expectation here that we're talking about?
Well, you know how Pokemon fans are, man. Like, I have seen, all right, so look, anytime I critique fan art, I think the fan art's great. I just, I don't think it's fitting. But I think the number one issue I have with fan art of evolutions to existing Pokemon is they over design it. Like, kind of, like, they're just, like, so one that you see a lot of is Skarmory. And they're just like, here's a Skarmory, but look, I put spikes all over it. And it's like, why? You know? But there's not really a change. You just put a Skarmory with a bunch of spikes. But so I have seen Dipplin evolutions that look like Tropius. And it's like, it's probably not going to be like that.
One of my favorites, I forget who the artist is, but they literally were like, it was the one apple. And it was just a Hydra. It had like all the heads. It was so cool.
Yeah, that's about what I'm expecting. But I'm also trying to.
But that wouldn't be underwhelming. That would be cool.
Goofy design, right? So I am trying to make it like I'm trying to think in my head that this will be a little goofy.
Yeah.
Y'all get to see Soul blinking out live. That's so cool.
All the time. Like, at least maybe I'm not so delayed.
Wow, this is incredible.
I was trying to fix it just now, but.
So Noivy became what is this? 5 months? What are we looking at right here? 5 months of being legendary channel member. He says, Ilka Gen 10, let's go. Imagine
Oh
that.
boy.
Noivy, we are going to get to one of your questions in a minute in the Discord that you submitted because you are next. But first, we want to do a quick shout out to RacerFan11 for the super chat, $5. Really appreciate it. New listener to this podcast. Love listening to the new podcasts when they come out, as well as past ones. And keep up the good work and happy Halloween. Really appreciate you. It's so nice. Anytime someone says they like listen and they're going back to the older episodes, that warms my heart because like I used to survive off of podcasts when I was working like my 9 to 5, right? When I was driving to the greenhouse, it was like 10-hour, 11-hour days, exhausted, and I survived off podcasts. And I know how important it was to me to have those. So I really appreciate it, and I'm grateful that we can be part of that, part of your day, part of your whatever. But
it's kind of unbelievable, honestly.
Like, it literally is unbelievable.
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, really? They're listening to us?
Yeah, seriously.
That's weird.
Dusty called Cherby S tier. You're still here?
All right. The merch is coming soon for that, but.
Either way, thanks so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're gonna look for you in the comments. On future videos. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, so you're now required to comment all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Noivy's next. Noivy's submitted this in the Discord. If you could create one Pokemon to introduce in Gen 10, what would it be, and what type should it have? It can be a standalone or a line. It can be an animal, object, myth. And I'm kind of looking at this like, so hard mode is don't make it a regional, don't make it an evolution. Hard mode is what's a new creature or whatever that you would want.
I'm going to read this comment myself so I can process it. Y'all ever do that? Like you need to
read it,
see it in front of you to process.
It depends like what kind of person you are. Like some people like
Right.
have to see things, or you know.
I found
I
another
actually
one.
wasn't paying attention because I was reading the chat.
If you could
what
create a Pokemon to introduce in Gen 10, what would it be and what type it'd be? So like hypothetically, this is not my answer.
Okay.
But like I want a pit bull that's fighting type, you know?
Oh Lord, please no.
That's
like,
not my answer.
Why is
no more dogs?
no, we need more Grand
We
Bull.
didn't get
Grand
any
Bull
in Paldea.
Grand Bull
No, not a single
Yeah,
one.
right. Grand
got
Bull should be
four.
fighting
Sorry.
fairy. Fighting fairy, that's what I would think.
Well, you're answering a question from earlier, changing a type.
It's a throwback.
this is
It's a callback.
Yeah, but I didn't know if you misunderstood the question.
No. So what I would do is I like that idea. The Pitbull. Listen, there are so many dog breeds. You could have all of them be their own Pokemon, and I like that.
They could all be different types.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. I think Subarashi says more Zygarde, which is true.
Zygarde.
I think there's room to make like a. What is there? There's
I like that.
Do
There's a
like
cell
a
2%
form,
1%,
3% form,
yeah.
4%, 5%, all the way.
At least 5%, right? You have the 10%, which is the dog. Make the 5% like a little bird, right? Or like a little mouse. And then like 15% could be.
Well, they're all important to Norse mythology.
Yeah.
So you could have like, I don't know, like 5% be like a little crow, because you have like the or maybe it's a raven. Odin's ravens or crows, whichever they are.
I like,
but, I would still tie them all to Norse mythology.
That'd be I like that a lot. That could be That could
I
be
like
a whole
thinking of
video.
something completely new. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. So I would pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
All right, first video, first time I ever laid ears on a Lumio's post video, right?
Hi.
He was doing like he was like a Gen 9 speculation, 10 types of Pokemon I would want.
What could it be?
I
I love those.
Yeah, and the idea that he suggested was so perfect to me. And
can I just, before you say what it is, can I just say, of all the ideas I've come up with, I am so shocked this is the one that you talk about a year later.
I think it's so cool. Listen, and I don't know if you actually said it was like a regional form of this, but the concept is.
I said it was a new Pokemon.
Listen, a ghost guitar. It's literally perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Cool.
It's a ghost that possesses a guitar
and
then travels
for
throughout the
Paldea,
region.
right?
Yeah, and then travels throughout the region. And you could hear it. You could hear it play like.
Right.
It's
like as you're getting near it, you hear the music change, kind of like in Univo when you talk to. That's cool.
Instead of Reverum being like, it's like it's like the plucking of a guitar. I love it.
The idea I had too was I think I said ghost normal because like a guitar is a pretty standard thing, and also that way you get like your sound moves
Sure.
get that
Yeah,
stab.
that's true.
But
Boom
then
burst.
the idea I came up with was like for an ability called melancholy was what I named it, where sound moves have a chance to lower speed, which would just make it all the more broken.
I like that.
Honestly, I would have liked that more than River Room.
You wouldn't like
Probably.
that more than
Oh,
Reverb
no, I
Room?
would have. I would have.
Would have. Oh, yeah. Reverb Room is.
Reververm is weird because
Alright.
I don't understand why it has rock elements in its
I-
body.
Oh my gosh.
That's what
worst.
really confuses me. Like it could have just been like an octopus. And why does it have a human tongue?
Oh.
I have a
know
lot
The
of
my
tongue
answer to
makes
this
me
question.
so angry.
I have a lot of things to say about that Pokemon, but I don't hate it. That's the thing. It's
I don't hate
crazy.
it, but like it's oh like it just
Poorly executed.
It just-
maybe.
it-
That's the
yeah,
best way to say
it's what do you call it? Like it's like missed potential. It's like a you're
Sure.
like
Yeah,
it's like a
that'd
like a
be
disappointed
your
parent.
underwhelming 2-stage.
Yeah. So what other Pokemon would you guys create?
I know this is also like. Oh no. Oh man, there's so many. But I'll go with cookie cutter answer platypus.
Oh man,
wanna-
we're
I
so
wanna
basic
Yeah.
today. What's happening?
Water
wanna-
poison.
I have
No,
like
water, but water poison if it's male, because only the males have the poisonous spurs or venomous spurs. I think it's a venom or
Mm.
that would
poison,
be
I don't know.
cool if they did that with like a gender variant thing.
Yeah.
As long as the female has something that's unique about it, that isn't just like a
boring-
bigger
Like
version
a
of the.
reverse Salandit.
A boring
Zombie.
bird.
No,
Oh, that'd be-
I'm
that'd be
thinking
cool
of
if it was a reverse
unpheasant,
Salandit.
like just
I
like
think it would be cool if it's a reverse Salandit. We don't have any where
Yeah.
the male only evolves
just
and the
male
female
only.
stays the same.
is that true?
Uh,
Yeah, but we do have.
No,
Listen, but I feel like we do. I mean, maybe that's just a bias. I was gonna say that the male Pyroar is like pretty iconic, but that's
You gotta
because
take
that's
this
because the
up
lions
to
are
God,
iconic.
Justin, because
yeah, I mean, but it's still there's no
it's based
like
off of the animals. you
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
right.
Unfortunately, the female animals have like I don't know, they don't look as nice.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, and it makes sense for like, especially I don't know much about Salandit's origins, but it makes sense for Vespiquen because it's a queen bee, right? Not
Mhm.
a king bee.
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. For new Pokemon, I think I want just more. There's so many fruits, so many foods that you could make. You
He
know.
wants another cherry.
Yeah. Kayla says just she wants more cats. I think that. I mean that doesn't
That's
appeal
fair.
to me, but that is super.
You know-
That's valid.
Oh, well, we got Sprigatito this gen. I was about to say, did we get a cat this gen? But
I mean,
was thinking,
Chen Pao is kind of a cat.
that's
Oh,
also
yeah.
true too. Oh, it's definitely a
Yeah.
cat.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
there's
love
no
Chien
argument there.
Pao. I literally.
Yeah, that's like the best cat Pokemon. I think.
That is my
was
number
fun.
one let's go Pokemon when I'm like when attacking raids and like shiny hunting. It's Chien Pao. I need to nickname it. I love it so much. It's level 100. It's so good. Can you get that shiny? Because I might shiny hunt it.
No, you can't.
can't.
It's
Great.
locked.
That's awesome. Great.
It's the shiny's not great. It looks like the shiny's like.
They'll
what
do
happened?
like a global challenge next year. Where
Why
you
is
can
the shiny
get it
brown?
I'm sure.
Like brown of all colors, man. I'm not a brown color fan thing. Like it's too.
Dude, Chien Pao shiny looks right. Oh, Chi-Yu's though. Oh,
That is good. That is good.
Chi-Yu has a good shiny.
Soul, did you
oh my
suggest
gosh,
anything yet?
No. I have like literally ton of bookmarks saved in my Twitter, like just of Pokemon I wish or animals I wish that were Pokemon.
Yeah.
I can't think of one off the top of my head though. I know the one that I want more than anything. And I know Gastrodon is kind of this, but I really want like a sea slug that's like a straight up dragon sea slug.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like the
Dude.
crazy ones that like have all of the colors and like frills coming off of them.
It's
Yeah.
actually wild
Yeah.
that you suggested that because I was just thinking about, we were talking about those videos I did for like predictions for Gen 9 Pokemon. I actually like researched things that were in Spain, Iberia. So like it was Spain and Portugal, Iberia. So, I didn't want to just be like, oh, I want a platypus here, because that doesn't make sense. And one thing I came across was there's a slug, I think it's in Portugal, but it's a sea slug, and it will take algae and it will steal their chloroplast and put it on itself so it can like photosynthesize, which is insane. Like that is so cool.
Just
Damn.
like water dark type.
Right, but like
Goes
with
around
grass
stealing
attributes,
stuff.
you know.
Yeah.
There's like so many like really interesting animals. Just I don't know. I feel like I feel like I could just stand in this.
Some animals are just Pokemon. Like
I feel like, but I
you
can
don't
like
even need to change them.
I could look around
I-
the house and find like 10 things that I'm like, I could see this being a Pokemon,
Yeah.
right?
I really want a fruit bat too, like a fruit bat.
You have
Yes,
Woobat.
and make it like a fruit
Yeah,
bat. Also,
right.
great idea.
Yeah.
Is a kiwi that is also a kiwi.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Oh, bro, an echidna too. I need an echidna.
echidnas.
I feel like you have
A
these.
quokka?
Sandshrew? A what?
No,
You're making up
echidna's
syllables now.
No, people
What?
love that little quokka thing.
What
Yeah,
is that?
quokkas, they're adorable. Look it up. It's
I don't.
incredible.
It's just like a general. It's like a
It's a little
like
it's
a
a
wombat or
marsupial
a-
or something.
a-
Yeah.
marmot. It's like all those things.
Yeah.
Same kind of things.
All right, Kayla says that there's no really, really, really fluffy cats yet. She says
I
there's
wouldn't like that.
she says there's lith cats, which I don't know what that is, and chunky cats, which
Loft
I do know
cat.
what that is.
We need a loft cat.
Oh, is that
I don't-
is that a Star Wars reference?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A little.
I want a quadruped tiger like what is it, Kotora? Is that its name?
Sure.
Yeah,
Um,
he's cute. I don't like the fluffiness that much, so I wouldn't probably like this.
What
cat
what type
unless
would
it
a
was-
fluffy cat be? Fairy? Maybe like I mean, if it was grass type, it could just be like a bushel of leaves, or it could
If
be like
it's
a.
round?
They should make a chia pet.
those
Going
were,
to the
like
early
rage back in the-
2000s
Yeah,
region.
those were
Yeah.
crazy. What if we had region? Never mind. That's a stupid question. That was really dumb. Actually.
Wait, in a way, Shaman is a chia pet.
That's true. That is actually kind
You're
of.
not even wrong.
That's pretty valid.
crazy.
That's crazy. I wonder if it was
Shaman is
inspired by
actually-
that.
Maybe.
Maybe part.
That was like the right. That was like the right era of chia.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's very
Drogain says
possible.
we need more more variable ice type Pokemon.
I agree.
I
like,
agree.
yeah.
I agree.
There's a lot of like just ice, or they're always so slow. Like why are they so slow? I feel like people.
Well, and especially when they've got that god awful typing, so
yeah, it's real.
they can't live hardly anything, and then they make them slow on top of that, and it's just like, learn. We need more Weaviles and GM-Pals, you know.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I have had. It's not as good in doubles, but in singles, I've had a lot of fun using Satitan.
Is it good?
Oh yeah, I've
What's
swept
its stat
Satitan.
spread?
Well, it's very bulky, but its speed is not bad. It gets sheer force. So that's
That's good.
a big plus, especially since you can Ice Spinner is sheer force boosted. But
Do we have
here,
to
I'm
get? We
pulling
have
it
to
up
get
now to
you.
get
You
back
you
to
got to go on
stats.
some battle podcasts.
I want to go on anime podcast too, man. I've been on anime.
You should
hiatus
do the
lately.
works, dude. Do the rounds and say, yeah, I'm here to
It-
promote my new show, Hidden Power.
No, Zachary doesn't do the begging. Lumi doesn't beg. He
Well,
gets asked.
I'll beg.
People come to him. But no,
All right. All right.
So
Listen,
Titan
I'll beg. I'll
is-
put you on those shows.
So Titan is 170 HP, 113 attack. Defenses aren't so great with 65 and 55 respectively. Special attack is obviously crap because it's 45. But then its speed is 73. But seriously, you can, in the right conditions and with the right Terra, which I run Terra Water, it is a lot of fun. I run Ice Spinner, Ice Shard, Earthquake, and Liquidation on mine. And
I
it's,
like the
Giving away
liquidation. That's pretty cool.
strategies.
What's up, Linky? How you doing, man? Oh,
Hey,
look at it.
Linky.
We were just about to jump on to our next question, but this is actually a new channel supporter, Decidueye Guy 95. I see you.
Oh, hey.
I see you in the YouTube studio. I see your name every time I log on. I go, oh, there's my guy.
I recognize the name
There's
too,
my
yeah.
Decidueye guy. With a super chat. What are your hopes for Terrapagos boss battle? This is what I want to talk about this.
People hate how you say Terrapagos, by the way. Just
What I say, Terrapagos?
Oh my-
I don't know how many times people are
Terrapagos,
like,
yeah.
I can't stand when Dusty says it wrong.
Do they tweet at you and say, listen, it's Arceus and Terrapagos. Terrapagos sounds so clean.
But it's based on
hey,
the
look,
Galapagos
our subs
Islands.
just dropped in half.
Anyway, what are your hopes for the boss battle?
Terrapagos.
Yes, Terrapagos.
Terrapagos.
Like Galapagos.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you
We
guys think?
have
Tell me,
a lot
educate
of-
me.
I don't have a lot of hopes for it. I want the plot. Look, for me, it's not about that exact battle. I imagine they'll do the big health bar like they did with Ogre Pawn and
I think you're right,
the
yeah.
Loyal 3 and stuff and Blood Moon Ursa Luna. I'm sure they'll do that, and I want that absolutely. But for me, it's all about the plot around him, the lore around him. That is what I care most for. So I don't want to walk into Area Zero, and I'm sure they won't do this, but I don't
Dude,
want to
that's
walk
true.
into
We're going back to Area
and they'd
Zero.
be like, "Ooh, Terapagos, go catch it," and there's no story. So
I don't know
that's
how
all I care about.
I don't know how the story's gonna unfold, like actually, because it's weird. I don't know. I think Terapagos we're gonna see from the beginning. I think it might be because Toby's got this whole idea that Cyrano's got him at the Blueberry Academy.
Yeah.
I think that might be accurate. I think that might be something, and then we end up going to Area Zero with it. I don't know. Something's gonna happen. I don't know. As for the battle, I agree with you, Lumi. I think like this battle's gonna be like the standard Titan battle, but who said it was epic? So it's probably difficult, or like I don't know how they can make it difficult because we're all gonna be like level 100.
Yeah.
I mean, finding a way to make it like where there's multiple battles in one battle, like Ogre Pawn changing its mask, or of course, the iconic Volo moment where Giratina flips back and then flips forward and changes.
I mean, that's
That
probably
was
what they're gonna
epic.
do.
That was
gonna battle.
That was so freaking.
But
cool.
how do we think it's all gonna work? So like we get baby Paragos. What the heck is its name?
He tried, guys.
Terapagos.
You
How
have
do you
to
say
be-
How do you
Baby-
say the islands? The islands with the tortoises. How do you say that?
Terapagos.
No, how do you say those islands?
Galapagos.
No, Galapagos.
Yeah, Galapagos.
So
baby
Terapagos.
Pagos,
Okay, baby.
right?
Pagos,
Okay,
let's
well
It's actually just Terapagos.
that's true.
just
That's true.
Terapagos.
So the baby form of Terapagos,
go.
we're getting somewhere. The baby form of Terapagos. This is tough. Is like, are we gonna get a hold of it, or it's gonna be the subject of something? I'm assuming it's gonna be like a Nebby situation where it's like the little baby Cosmog, right? And then it's gonna enter its battle phase. Maybe we defeat it,
We don't
but
really
then
know,
but then
this
it
is a good
returns to
idea.
its small phase, and then maybe then it goes into its ultra, like cosmic form, right? Where it becomes that. Because Soul, you tweeted out. It just kind of jogged my memory of like that image that we always see where it's in outer space. It's the size of the world, but we never actually we don't know anything about that, right?
No,
It
we don't.
shows it like that.
We
in
don't
the
know even the
anime
size.
opening too.
Yeah, that's what I was tweeting about.
Yeah.
We don't even know the size of it really though.
Yeah.
I don't know, but what we do know from the data mine, I don't know if there's people like that don't want spoilers in here, but
Well, yeah, maybe brush overs, just kind of avoid.
there's
actual
probably gonna be like 2 battles of it, because we have to battle the Terrastal form.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then if it does a final form, which is
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna be like really.
I think it is the world turtle in the sense that there is a paradise in Area Zero, Rakua in the anime, and it is the world turtle in the sense that it carries that paradise, and it is the creator of that world.
Sure. Okay.
And it's a world outside of time, which means that Lucius in the anime, Heath in the games, is still alive down there.
Yeah.
And there are paradox Pokemon. That's how they're able to exist there.
Yeah.
Bro, did you know that Lucius was a girl?
Really?
What?
Yeah,
Really?
It's a girl. I'm pretty sure
Really?
it's a girl. Yeah.
Are you sure about that? I could have sworn they said he.
I know, but maybe they think that it's a he. I don't know because I keep seeing like
It
tons
is
of people-
listed as a he on Bulbapedia, and they did put gender male.
What are we
I
talking
think,
about?
it's I think it's a misdirect, or it's like supposed to be a gender bent kind of thing. I don't know because
we heard his voice, and it was a male voice. I mean, but they could always,
Is this from the anime?
I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna tweet about it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna tweet about it because I'm just like so confused about it because people keep drawing it as a girl, and I'm like, okay, because I guess because it's supposed to be Luco's like relative.
He does have. I mean, he has long hair, but
Yeah,
that
and
doesn't
blue
mean
eyes
he's a
and all that.
girl. I mean, we've got N and AZ,
And we have Soul Silver
guys,
Eyes.
And me.
Yeah, we got Soul. It's 2023, y'all.
Yeah.
I know, but I've seen tons of people.
I
that
love the mask.
Make it a girl. I don't know what to do with this thing anymore. I'm just.
All right, we got
keep
we got a bunch of super chats. We gotta start
Yeah, I
getting
know.
to these. So Gendy
cool.
back with another super chat. Gen 9's 2 pseudos. Diplin equals Beldum. So Pokemon formed by smaller forms of itself, unobtainable behind an in-game event. I like that. And then Baxcalibur equals Salamence, the obtainable in-game. That's cool. I think I would
do
love
think
more
Diplin
pseudos.
could be the Diplin could be the
Which would
pseudo.
be
I've been thinking that for a
crazy, dude.
while. And
That's
by
so
the way,
unique.
it's also very fitting when you think about it too, because obviously when we think of this evolution, we're thinking it's tied to Indigo Disc, and all, and it is. It's going to be tied to Indigo Disc, but Diplin is a Kitakami mon. So in a way, it's not that Paldea has 2 pseudos. It's that Paldea has a pseudo and Kitakami has a pseudo. I like to think of it that way.
That could be really cool. I would like that.
Just like we had 2 pseudos in
what's
Gen 8.
gonna classify it as a pseudo? Just its
stats.
Like,
if its
stats.
stats are 600,
600.
Yeah.
if its stats are 600, it's pseudo. Bingo.
Guaranteed.
That'd be so sick.
I mean,
And it would be
think it's gonna
powerful.
It's gonna have crazy stats no matter what. But if it's exactly 600, then yes.
Diplins are 485 though. They could, if they wanted to, just do like 555. You know, like that's around Ursaluna's.
Yeah, but no,
I think it's gonna be really good.
it's gotta be 600.
I think so too.
If it's
I hope
555,
it's 600.
like
I hope it's
that ain't
600.
pseudo.
Because I do love that idea of it being a second pseudo.
I'm wondering about the abilities even. I know this is like going in depth, but like with what Ku was talking about, like that there's only 4 new abilities or something.
Yeah.
And like 2 of them get it. I'm just like, who's gonna get the new abilities?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Terapagos,
I feel like Terapagos has.
Yeah,
to.
100% at least gets one of them.
Right.
No, he said 2 of them go to older Pokemon. I think. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Now,
But-
I mean, we know the paradoxes. Theirs will be
Right.
old abilities. They'll be
Right.
the or not Orichalcum. What I forget the name. Quark Drive and
Yeah.
Photosynthesis,
Mhm.
and then I imagine Dokutaros will be Toxic Chain.
Probably.
So which is fine.
I just wonder if it'll be the Diplin evolution or Archaludon will get something, because I don't know if Archaludon.
Archaludon probably won't, because we have 2 of its abilities. It's Stamina, and I forget the other one because Stamina. But then the interesting thing is that Duraludon's hidden ability is Stalwart, and that is exclusive to Duraludon. So I imagine that'll stay with Archaludon.
Yeah.
I wonder. Interesting.
Oh, we got another
Yeah,
super
so
chat.
that makes sense. Diplin and the Diplin evolution, and but see, it's weird too because Diplin has a signature ability. Are they going to
I
get
know, but are
rid
they
of
really
that?
gonna keep
or...
that one? Because it's
Yeah,
I feel like
I just
you're,
think-
you're right. It is kind of like specific to Diplin.
its ability though is like could make it an absolute monster. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know if super sweet.
It pairs well with Annihilate or any Defiant Mon because it lowers their stat and then Defiant activates.
If they ever change it to where it's like every time it enters battle, that would be crazy. Because it's just like the first time. But anyway.
Is it? Oh wow.
Yeah, it's the first time. It's
I
kind
didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
We've got another
Cool.
super chat by
Yeah.
ZZ Muffin Top. Best podcast ever. DLC trailer
thank you.
this week.
Let's go.
Thoughts? DLC trailer this week? Thoughts? Huh? What do we think?
I'm
Next week.
kind of with Lumi on this, being like it's next week.
It's next week.
I know
It was never going to be today.
I even took off freaking work tomorrow and today and
Oh,
tomorrow are like,
soul.
Well, today
I was
makes
just like-
sense. You got to be here.
yeah, but still at the same time, guys, my hair looks so good today. Why am I wearing this mask?
Take some thumbnail pictures.
Yeah. I think tomorrow
Finally.
is still a possibility. It's still a possibility.
It's possible. I
It's
think
possible.
they
First day
prefer
of
Tuesdays.
November.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well, the thing to remember is that I never thought it would be today just because they have so many Halloween events going on, and Scarlet and Violet and Unite and Go, I'm sure. They also have one in Sleep. So, let those run their course. Tomorrow is a possibility just because, now all that's over. Let's talk about what's ahead. The big thing to remember is I feel like we are like all but guaranteed it next week. Or like by next week, either tomorrow or next week. because this Friday is when the bundle drops in stores that has Scarlet and Violet with the DLC already downloaded
Oh,
onto
dude,
it.
that's huge, actually. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's this Friday. That's
And the
November 3rd.
DLC's already on
So,
it.
yeah, like
Well,
it's already
it's not
downloaded
on
onto
it.
it.
You just-
Obviously,
yeah.
Indigo Disc
Okay.
isn't like it's already paid for. Like you will
Yeah.
pay $90 and get it all instead of paying 60.
They
and
should.
then-
The way they should do
or
that is like,
95.
they should
actually.
make it $75 or something.
They
If they
Like what? There's
Yeah.
no.
But then the issue is you'd have a lot of people that are mad that are like, but I wanted to buy your product when it came out, and now I'm being punished for that because I paid.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
you-
Yeah, but you're
if
not.
you do
You're not
that,
really
then
being
you're-
punished because it's additional content that
Right,
wasn't
but
finished.
If you do that, then in Gen 10, you're going to have people go, well, I'm not going to go ahead and purchase the DLC, and I'm not going to get, Teal Mask when it comes out because
See, I look at it as an
I know
incentive
that
for
in
me to buy it.
November there'll be a bundle that'll be cheaper, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna wait till that. So then their sales look a little.
Yeah,
wonky,
that's
you know?
true.
There's,
I
there's
look
a lot
at it.
we could talk about with this for sure. I mean, like, what about, is it a presents? Is it just a trailer? If they do it on Thursday, I'm
just
gonna be
trailer.
so upset. I'm gonna be so upset if it's
I
Thursday.
don't think
and
they'll do it
off,
Thursday.
I took off Wednesday. Bro.
My personal opinion is that the hot dates are tomorrow or next Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, if they don't do it in this time frame that Lumi just said, we're in trouble. We are officially in trouble because they have not announced the date yet, and if they don't do it like by next week, I'm like, okay,
But
January.
important thing to remember is that Isle of Armor came out June 17th. It was announced, the release date for it was announced June 2nd. Only 15 days before.
All right,
That's
all
insane.
right. I mean,
I guess
it's
it's
still
because
possible. You're right.
I guess it's because we know about it. Do you think they'll release any other information?
Yeah, there's a lot
Like
too.
what?
Because we
That's
know
why
that,
I don't think
like,
it'll be a presents anyway. I think it'll
right.
be
I
unless
think
it's
it'll
like
just be like an
other.
update, like
Yeah.
they did for Crown Tundra.
But like, what are
in
they gonna
September,
announce? Any
they
new
just went-
Pokemon?
Maybe
they
do
show the
Paradox
Pokemon.
Entei and Terrakion because we know they're coming.
Right.
Like, so why not?
And do we know from leaks? Not to get into leaks, but like, do we know if there's gonna be more Paradox beyond that?
No.
Okay. Like, no, we won't, or
Well, you said not to get into leaks, so
Yeah, what are we
Yeah.
supposed to
I'm
do?
being vague
I mean,
here.
we've already
Alright.
said a few leaks by
Alright.
now, but
because
but-
I want more Paradox. Truthfully.
But we do know there's a lot more than just new Pokemon.
Okay.
So
all right.
there are things that
There's
they can
old
announce
Pokemon.
outside of and not
there's
only that,
returning
but
Pokemon.
there's potential talk of some old Pokemon maybe getting some new things. So if that's the case, that's some stuff you can reveal as well.
All right.
There's been some talk about a little string cheese man getting something.
What? Wait, is that real?
worse.
Let's see, this is like a month old, man.
Bro,
Come on.
I don't. We haven't talked about it. We've been doing Gen 5 tier list. We've been doing. We have a guest episode. We've been talking about Johto.
Pretty much 2 months now, actually. I think.
You know, this is awesome.
I don't know if that's
I'm excited
even true,
for
though,
that.
so.
I mean, it's from Koo. He was asked, "Can you tease a special Terra State?" And he posted a little emoji of a surfer man.
Oh, we know what that
Man,
is.
Surfer
We know what that
Man.
is. All right, Jasco says, "What's the first returning Mon you're going to get in Indigo Disc?"
That's a great question.
Not
Jessica. You were
Chimchar.
asking the real questions.
Probably.
And thank you for the super chat, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes.
man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Probably. I don't know. What would you guys get?
I'm very
I
excited.
don't even know what
for
the list
Lapras.
is. Yeah, Lapras.
I'm
I'd
very
get a
excited for
Lapras.
Lapras. But above all else, I have said ever since the Crown Tundra released, and it was apparent that the only starters being added from the DLC was the Hoenn starters. I have been saying, and Sword and Shield, I have been saying they should put in every game, even if it's after DLC comes out,
Yeah.
every starter should be available because every starter is someone's first Pokemon and everyone's first Pokemon is a starter. So because of that, I think they should do that, and they are doing that in Indigo Disc, and I am very excited about that. I am so excited to see Soul, you posted on Twitter the other day about the fact that these returning Pokemon will get little dex pictures, the little pages.
That is
for
pretty
the
cool.
dex.
I'm excited about that.
I love those.
Yeah, that's
so,
cool.
No, I'm so ready for
and
that.
then I'm ready to
Especially
see
the starters.
the you know how like the models
How they
now
portray
have
them.
detail,
Yeah.
like scales and fur and stuff. I'm so excited to see Sceptile.
The thing for me
I'm
though is
I'm
like,
excited for alligator.
oh, I was gonna say
Honestly.
for
Totodile,
alligator.
but I feel like
Yeah.
aren't a lot of those
Bayleaf,
Pokemon?
too.
A lot of those Pokemon are already like, yeah, I love Bayleaf. That's gonna be great. Meganium. Aren't a lot of those Pokemon already available though? Like a lot of the starters you already can get, or
Well, that's
or
why I named ones that weren't. You can't get
Yeah.
Venusaur, you can't get Blastoise, you can't
I'm
get
over
Meganium
then.
for alligator,
Okay.
you can't get the Hoenn starters, you can't get Superior
So
and
that's actually a lot of them. Yeah. I would
you
get
can't get the Incineroar or
oh,
Primarina.
dude. Oh, that's honestly a lot of starters. Then yeah, I would get that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the Hoenn starters. That's what I'm
At
excited
first,
for.
Me too.
at first I wasn't like excited at all, and then I was like, wait, we actually haven't ever had like just a game where we get all the starters like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just
Well, and it's also Soul. You
excited.
had posted this way back when Teal Mask came out, or maybe you said it on here.
And
I
I
don't
think
remember
wait,
what
I
you
think
said.
you can get them in the wild. I'm pretty sure as well, right? I feel like I've seen gameplay
in
of.
if
you
Blueberry
can get
Academy
wild
is considered wild, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you can get them in the wild in the terrarium.
Mm-hmm.
But Soul, you either posted this or said this on the podcast like shortly after Teal Mask when we were all talking about Teal Mask. But the thing that's so fun about it too is that now returning Pokemon, they don't, obviously they don't feel quite like new Pokemon,
Yeah.
but you are genuinely like excited to like I want to see Sceptile, like
Yeah.
Soul, you had posted some pictures of like Gliscor, I remember specifically that one. The new
Yep.
models, the new textures,
They look so good.
I'm so excited.
I'm already getting nostalgic for last month when I played Kitakami and exploring it for the first time, and it was a lot of fun. And honestly,
Yes.
I've been spending a lot of time in Paldea again. Like last night, shiny hunted Mimikyu for about 2 hours.
You get
But
one?
I'm ready. No, not yet. I'm ready to go. Is it over? Am I done? Can I not get it?
It'll
anymore?
be over tonight at
All right.
probably like 7 or 8.
All right, I'll get one on my lunch break. All right, so I feel like, yeah, I want to go back to Kitakami. Gligar was cool. I'm really. It is true. I'm excited. I'm excited to get Metagross.
Yeah, that looks good too. It looks really good.
That's gonna be
Metagross
so
does look
good.
really good.
Dude, I do like the Let's Go feature. I like that a lot.
I never ever use that. But yeah, they definitely are like spicing it up with all those, and I'm very excited
For
to
real.
see them, especially the Dex things.
What's your number one, Soul?
I don't really have one because I'm only going to try to use new Pokemon.
Yeah, but a number one that you're ready to see,
I'm just catching them all, man. I'm trying to do a living deck. So like, actually, I have been playing the game quite a bit. I've been trying to get them all. But now I'm like in the trading mode. Like I just need paradoxes, and that's it. And then I'll be able to finish my Paldea decks because I finished the Kitakami decks.
Nice.
So I just want to catch all of the ones that are coming back. The only
Since
one that's
Soul's
coming
being
to my
cheeky,
mind.
I'll answer for him. His favorites are Aquanid. He's excited to see that.
That's true.
Is that coming back? Is that
Yeah.
coming back?
That
I'm
is
pretty
pretty
sure
cool.
that was one of the Datamine ones.
That's pretty cool.
That is epic if true, because I do love that Pokemon.
And that's a
lot.
Pokemon that would have an updated
Galvantula
texture,
too.
right? Like
Really?
imagine the water
Yeah.
around it is.
Or I haven't looked at it enough.
Dude, Galvantula is gonna be
Um,
like fuzzy. That's like
The
that's Kayla's fuzzy cat.
Galvantula is the fuzzy one. That's true.
Yeah.
The only things I can think of are Cleavor and Feraligatr.
but those are
I'm not gonna
Cleavor's
like,
back.
Araquanid,
yeah.
Araquanid definitely is, and I'm looking for Galvantula. Yeah, it's on there. Galvantula and Araquanid.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick them up. The thing is, I have them in home now too. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, but that's different from the models in game.
yeah, but I could just give
Pokemon Prison
Well,
is not
a
the
little
same.
transfer, a little
Yeah,
move over.
what I
Oh.
did is I transferred everything over. I completed the decks, got whatever charm I needed. Actually, I guess there was no need. I guess there was no reason to do that. But I normally do that to
There
get.
will be in the Indigo disc.
I normally do that to get the shiny charm, and then I
Mhm.
transfer them out, and then it's like any Pokemon I find could be a shiny.
Minior.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
I've
it has
never
all-
been a crazy Minior.
I want to
Yeah,
get
I
it
like it.
shiny.
That's
I
because
like it,
you're
but it's just-
a communist.
I want to get it shiny.
I like it. It's whatever. It's like whatever.
I want to get it
Really
shiny
like-
so bad. All right, we have another question. A huge super chat by Pug
thank you.
King Games. Just a thought. Aren't
like the
the
name.
Swords of Justice in Legendary Beast Guardians / protectors when the world is in danger? So would that be a help in the boss battle and the boss fight? By the way, love the podcast. We appreciate you, man. Really appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is an interesting headcanon, right? I don't actually know if that's
This is
backed
the-
up by anything, but I like that. It kind of ties it all in together if that's the case.
In
This
the
is a
anime,
case-
go ahead, Soul.
I was just gonna say this is a case of when Pokemon fans can write things better or make things up better than Game Freak.
Yeah.
Like literally, I don't know why it's like this. Like we should
Story's
just,
not their strong suit.
it's not even story. It's just like this. Oh, this would be so cool to do. And I mean,
Mhm.
maybe it's just like limitations, but
But you can have a text of dialogue that details that. And an old man NPC says it. They go, oh, legends say that they're the defenders. And then Birdkeeper Toby can make a whole
Well, it's
flipping 20-minute
it's
video
backed
about
up
it.
by a lot of things. I don't know about in the games, but I just finished the original series, and so Kanto through Johto of the anime. And in the anime, when Suicune appears, it's to either protect Celebi or to protect Ashen Gang from I can't remember if it was
Ashen
Team
Gang.
Rocket or Wild Pokemon in Ecruteak City. When Raikou appears, it's to protect electric type Pokemon, and they
Mm.
say it's a protector of electric types. And when Entei appears, it's to protect Pokemon from Team Rocket. So they are, and like they directly say, oh, they're here to protect because that's what they do. So
I just
that
wanna
is a thing in
say-
the anime, but anime does
Right.
not equal games.
No, anime canon's totally different.
Maybe
wanna
it says
say-
that in games too, though.
Yeah,
I think you can blur the lines a little bit, right? Because
Sure.
the inspirations of them are all from the same thing.
Well,
right?
and sometimes they kind of we've seen them say, "Oh, I really like that idea," and then
Yeah.
put it in the game.
Like,
you
I
know,
wouldn't
so.
say this happened in the anime, therefore this is going to happen in the games. But I would
Like-
say, how do you explain this? Well, there's evidence for this in the anime. There's evidence
Right.
of this in so-and-so, right?
A
So-
great example of this is Lugia.
Yeah, I was just going to
was
say,
not tied to the birds except for the anime.
but in my mind it is now.
in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, they kind of canonize that it is because you have to get the legendary birds to get Lugia.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
I think that's more like a nod towards the movie, and it's not really. I've never considered it actual canon lore because
I mean, sure, but,
there-
you
but
know
there's
what I'm
nothing-
saying.
there's
Like,
nothing
they
to say
can
it's
see an
not.
idea from the anime. They've seen ideas from the anime
Right.
before and taken it and adapted it. You know, other examples are Ash Greninja. Lugia himself was an anime design.
I was gonna say Lugia is a special case in general because it was not even designed by Game Freak and was designed by the guy making the movie,
That's so
which is
interesting.
crazy.
Which
Yeah.
kind of makes me wonder if maybe they should get that guy to draw more.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. He gone.
He is.
He long gone. Rest in peace.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
so
he-
depressing.
He was
Oh,
on
Brett.
like some crazy drugs and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Lugia's
all
still
that.
not a bird though. I think that's pretty cool. I like that connection. I like that connection a lot. It makes me wonder like if like there's any connection between like the genie quartet and like the weather trio, right?
Yeah. What I was gonna say.
I guess they're
before
more
is
seasons, but it's interesting.
you really have to like. That's a great idea, but it has to make sense too. Because like I mean, they're not in Unova, so
No,
the
totally.
Swords of Justice wouldn't just appear. I mean,
Yeah.
they are technically in Unova if it's happening in Blueberry
Yeah,
Academy.
that's
That would
true.
make sense. But like the legendary beast wouldn't show up, kind of thing. You know, like it
I
has to
mean,
make
they
sense. So
might
I give
would
Game Freak
because
a
they
break.
traveled the world.
Yeah,
So it
All
actually
I'm
makes
saying is
sense if it's in
it
Unova.
it couldn't happen every time though, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
Yeah.
there's a world-ending situation. Zygarde's gotta be there. Everyone's gotta be there.
I mean,
you know,
Well, I
Super
think
Ashi would
the
say
idea is here.
otherwise.
Like
Yeah.
the way I paint it in my head is y'all remember from Black and White when you're at the end and all of the like little sages from Team Plasma like
Yeah.
corny like
yeah.
cornered, and then the gym leaders come in and they're like, we got this, you go, and you know they take care of it. It'd be cool if like we see a similar thing with like Terapagos and the paradoxes, and the paradoxes are about to attack you, but then in Scarlet, Entei, Raikou, and Suicune show up to fight them, and you know you get to move on. Or in Violet, you know, Cobalion, Terrakion,
Sure.
Virizion show up. That would be neat.
The cool thing about Paradox, I'm just thinking, I'm like, yeah, even though we're likely not to get any more Paradox after the Indigo Disc, like,
I wouldn't say that.
well,
I
what,
wouldn't either.
okay, well, what I'm saying is like, you know, we're obviously not going to
After
get a
Gen 9,
yeah,
maybe.
we're not going to get a Paradox for every single Pokemon, but even when that happens and we don't get a Paradox for every single Pokemon, the very nature of Paradox Pokemon would suggest that every Pokemon could have a paradox form, and probably does have a paradox form. We just don't see it. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think
Hey.
okay, so Afka said he's back. So I have a question that he put in the Discord. What do you think about
Wait, before we get into that question,
Yeah.
though, there is someone here who wants to say hello.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Bulbasaur.
Why did this happen right now? He's here. I wish I could put
Because
the mask on him.
not only is he here, but he's here to tell us something.
Oh, is it about
Tell us
Oh,
about an
oh my
amazing-
gosh. Dusty, I didn't know if you know this, but there is apparently Bulbasaur merch available.
Really? Here, let me
Yes.
I
Bulbasaur
should
said
have
he
done
would
this
have copped
earlier
him a
because
t-shirt.
I'm not doing this very well. I'm trying to
That's
show-
okay. I can keep ribbing while you're doing it. So
How's
Bulbasaur
this?
actually says that the
Whoa!
merch
I really like the
Doesn't fit him.
beanie.
You like the beanie?
Yeah.
he
that's
would
so
order his own shirt.
Oh,
but he can't find
Bulbasaur.
one his size.
Bulbasaur, are you talking about this one right here? Are you talking about this one, Bulbasaur?
He says yes.
Are you talking about this T-shirt that was designed by a creator on Fiverr, and it's a nice design, and it
Yeah.
incorporates
Cool. Just put
Japanese
this mask
imagery.
right
Yeah.
on him.
He reads Japanese, and he says that says hidden power.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I think it translates to like. I think it actually
Yeah,
translates.
it's the move for hidden power.
No, but I think it
Lumi-
translates
Lumi
to
is
like
the
secret
Bulbasaur
or
whisperer.
unknown power or something.
Okay, well,
just
I don't
whispers
know.
in
I
your
don't
ear.
speak Bulbasaur. I'm just, assuming this is what he's saying.
Well,
He also says,
tell-
and I quote,
tell
that
Bulbasaur-
this is a sick design.
Yeah, tell
The
Bulbasaur
front.
that the front of it actually is a unique design that isn't on any other piece of Hidden Power merch, and then you can also get this in a sweatshirt because it's getting cold out, right?
Whoa.
Well,
Bulbasaur
is that what
says that
Bulbasaur
even though
just said?
even though they are all
Just-
oversized for him, Bulbasaur says he will be copying one.
Well, you know what? Tell Bulbasaur he could probably get a sticker and just put the sticker on his face, but like respectfully.
He approves.
Here, let's see. Can you get that?
He does speak Bulbasaur. He's a Bulbasaur whisperer.
Wait,
True.
what's that? There's more?
There's so
We
much more.
also have Halloween merch.
Yeah, we got.
I was
Right
gonna
now,
give him like a. Oh,
we-
that's cool.
We got Poltergeist. This is a classic shirt that's been out. You can also get it for when you're drinking matcha tea. But we also made the purple Halloween edition of the Poltergeist T-shirt. It's got the purple Hidden Power logo on the back. We also have this brand new design, which I'm pumped about. I say it's a design, but it's just Mimikyu's face, and it's honestly really cute. I said I ordered one. I still gotta order one. I'm gonna order one, but I think this is so cute.
Like chalk.
Yeah. And we also made this really cheeky one that I might honestly delete because it's just a rip from the Gen 2.
Yeah,
Gengar
they might
sprite.
they might get you for that one.
But
Okay,
it's
Bulbasaur
so good.
Buy
says
it
that
quick
the
because
ninjas are after you right now.
Yeah, buy it quick because we might get taken
Yeah.
down.
But I think I gotta buy this quick because that's the coolest shirt I think. And then I put the Mimikyu face on some hats as well, which I thought was kind of cute. Oh, and we actually just made these this morning. We also have some DLC. We also have some DLC shirts right here. It's what would you even call this?
It's the Kitakami shirt.
It's the Kitakami shirt.
That's what Bulbasaur says.
Kitakami Ogre shirt. It says Hidden Power right there on the front. Classic logo on the back. And then honestly, Lumi and I made this 5 minutes before the live stream. You can get your
true.
very own Save the Turtles shirt. It's inspired by a lot of other Save the Turtle shirts, but obviously that doesn't look like a turtle. It looks like something else. In the front of it, you get a little Hidden Power right there. Yeah, and honestly, the big thing while we're promoting
It's
this
a really
right
smart
now
idea.
is that you can get $5 off your order with code GHOST. That ends. I think it ends today. So that's what it is right there. Oh, I mean,
Oh wow.
we got plenty more stuff. You got embroidered hats. These hats are embroidered. We got Espathra is not a bird. That's one of my favorites. I have that. It's actually right over.
He's
right
gonna
behind
change
me.
it to Lugia soon.
We also have there's tons of stuff. Go check it out. Right, we got tons of stuff in our merch store. We're updating this all the time. We got more ideas on the way. I want to make a lucky Cherubi, a lucky Cherubi design. But anyways, we love you guys. Go check that out.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween. Let's get this
Yep.
show back on the road.
Yes, Bulbasaur says he's got to go. He actually has a debate with Rhydon, Mew, and Arceus about who the first Pokemon is. See you, Bulbasaur.
Bye.
I think it's probably Rhydon or Rhyhorn.
Oh boy, are we gonna have
Bulbasaur
this
said he
debate?
heard that and he did not appreciate it.
Oh yeah, so Ofka said he's back. Actually, yeah, hold on. Yeah, Ofka. Actually, no. Before we do Ofka's, let's do No, we can do Ofka. Ofka's back.
No, we're on Ovco.
All
We
right,
can't do that to this man.
All right. What do you think about a Pokemon TV series that is created for older viewers? I mean, about more complicated plot. It should be about a more complicated plot. I think one day we will get such a series. And I guess the preface here is, will it be ongoing? Will it be a limited series?
I mean, they kind of do that with limited series. Like, I mean, they're obviously not like it depends on your definition of adult, but obviously like Twilight Wings
Yeah.
and stuff
What
was a
streaming
little
platform is it
more
going to be on?
mature than not like that it was racy or anything, but you know, it was kind of, I don't know the right word, but you know, it wasn't as kiddie as the anime. That's no hate to the anime, big anime fan
That's true,
here.
because there's so many like epic animes, and I'll be honest, I don't watch anime, right? I don't watch like the anime
I
I
don't really
watch,
watch too much either.
but like I know it's huge now. Like it's like cool to watch
Oh yeah,
anime
it's
now.
it's normal. Yeah.
It's like mainstream.
When I was growing up, you were like super nerd if you're watching anime.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I was,
So-
and I was reading.
Unless it was
I had a
Dragon Ball
Shonen
Z.
Jump subscription, which like I read every month. But
I mean,
but
the
it
manga's,
actually
like,
it is kind of cool to think
epic
like,
anyway.
could we get an anime, like a adult anime? That actually is really cool, because now I'm thinking about it with like the graphic imagery, or there's cursing, or it's like really flippin' intense. Like that'd be fun, right?
See,
I
I
would
don't.
love it personally, more for the story, just like
Yeah.
a darker
Yeah,
story.
that's what I want. Is like
Yeah.
a story where they solve the problem. They're like, "Why did you solve the problem?" It's like, "Well, I just got Charizard to kill him," rather than,
Yeah.
"Well, the power of friendship prevailed." You know?
I
That's
just don't think there doesn't need to be like death and everything.
Yeah, no,
It's
No,
just
no,
there's
no,
like,
no.
I'm
It
being
just has to
facetious.
be like a more adult story, like where
Or
it's
something
like, oh,
that-
this actually engages my mind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like I'm thinking of Star Wars Visions right now. I've watched
Sure.
all of those, and they're all gorgeous. And it's not just anime.
Those are amazing.
It's not just anime. There's like a lot of different
Yeah.
unique art styles. There's like
Styles, sure.
claymation in one of them,
I
but
hate that, yeah.
but the cool
Well,
ones
we're-
are anime, and the cool ones
I mean,
are
if you
like
wanna
they're edgy.
if you want to go that route, in a way, we have that because we have the Twilight Wings. We have right now, you know, it's Powdam Wins. Then we have, which is great, by the way. But then also we have the, God help us, we have the Pokemon Concierge coming out to Netflix.
Oh man,
It
they
was
keep
supposed
doing
to be
like these really
December, but
dumb
that
little
might
shows.
be.
I'm like,
There might be like Is that still dropping in December? Or did the strike?
I have
change that?
no idea. I just
Um.
I disregard some of that stuff because it's just like I am not interested really.
But then I mean, so you have like different like outlets of her Pokemon. Also, Detective Pikachu 2, allegedly they are still. I mean, obviously everything's on hold right now because of the strike. But
yeah.
allegedly they're, as of earlier this year, still moving forward with a sequel. So you know that's a thing. And then I don't know. I will also say, and ALW Pikachu said this in chat. Horizons, while not adult, it is definitely more serious in tone and more mature than the anime than the original anime, like Ash Ketchum. Certainly, the last few years of Ash Ketchum, like Sun and Moon, Journeys,
That's interesting.
even X and Y, and definitely BW.
I wonder if there was a conscious decision to retire Ash because of the rise of popularity of anime with adults.
Well, my theory has
At least
been,
in
I
the
mean,
at
another
least
thing to think about is that,
globally.
so Japan has a lot more respect for voice actors than, because anime's, you know, very big there,
Yeah.
than the West does. Because, like, you know, in the West, they don't mind recasting. Like, in the middle of Advanced Challenge, when it switched over to Battle Frontier,
Yeah.
they recast all of the voice actors for Ash, you know, Brock, Misty, May, all of them, and replace them with cheaper actors, like not cheaper, like lower quality, but literally like cost less. So, and it was a big stink. But in Japan, they won't do that. In fact, in Japan, May's voice actress had some kind of issue with throat. I don't remember if it was like a throat cancer or something, but basically she had to retire from voice acting. And so they never brought back May. They weren't going to recast her because they're like, we have too much respect for that actress.
Yeah.
We're not just going to bring back May and recast her. So the thing to remember in saying all that is that all these people that are voices on the Japanese anime, has the Japanese dub of it, they have been doing this since the anime's debut. They have been doing this for 25 plus years. So my thought process was, obviously they get a break by retiring Ash, Jesse, James. But also it also allows for potentially, because Gen 9 is very clearly, Horizons is very clearly a Gen 9 anime.
Yeah.
Horizons will not be the Gen 10 anime, in my opinion. It will
Mm.
be the Gen 9 anime. My
That's
thought is
honestly
that Gen
sick.
10,
I like that.
Gen 10, they bring back Ash Ketchum.
Oh
They
no!
They can listen, hear me out. They can age him up. I'm not saying adult Ash Ketchum and it'll be like an adult show, but I'm saying you can make him like 15, so he's been in puberty, so he doesn't need a female voice actress anymore. You can cast a male voice actor now, so you can. It allows for you to change around the actors if anyone wants a break.
Yeah.
And you run with it, and it's perfect too because it's Gen 10. It's the cumulative gen. It's when the anime
I
will
hope
be
it's
hitting its
still
30th
ensemble.
anniversary.
I hope it's an ensemble
So,
cast though. You're right. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone is interested in being like, let's follow Ash now, because it's like the point of Ash was that he was just the relatable kid, right? And if they're gonna
I
age
think
him
you
up,
don't know any Poke fans. Any Poke fans, the majority of them would kill everybody in this room to get Ash Ketchum back.
Yeah,
Really?
it's true.
I feel like if they're gonna, well, what I'm saying is like, yeah, you can bring him back, but I don't think he's gonna be the subject of the show. If they're gonna bring him back, think of it like this. It's like, I mean, Star
A Brock
Wars,
roll, sure.
right? Yeah. Give him the mentor role, right, and have these new protagonists. Or
I mean,
it's
that's
like,
fine. You can totally do that.
right? That's.
But I think there's a really good chance they bring him back for Gen 10 because that is great marketing. That
Yeah.
is, you thought it was over. You can do it in a way where the original voice actors can retire if they understandably do not want to return to a role they've been doing for 25 years.
Sure.
So
Okay, that makes
especially
sense.
because I mean, a lot of them too, like the voice of Professor Oak in Japan, who was also the narrator of the
Yeah.
show, like the guy at the beginning who's like, our heroes are on their way to, he passed away. I can't remember if it was Sun and Moon era or Journey's era, but
Yeah.
he passed away.
I think it was Journeys.
I think so too.
I feel like though
Then-
with these voice actors, like they can change the voice actors like whenever they want. I feel like I don't really think that's a limitation
they can, but in Japan there is a lot more
because they want to be respectful
for that.
Okay.
It'd be like imagine, and obviously Marvel has like recast some people
Sure, I
like
see what
Bruce
you're saying.
Banner
Yeah.
and War Machine. But imagine if Iron Man 3,
I was just
with
gonna say
no
a new Iron
explanation,
Man. Yeah.
There's Robert Downey Jr. is no longer Tony
Well,
Stark.
you know what
Like
they
that.
did? They did that with Hulk.
They did, but that's such a different case.
Yeah.
And because there was like, it was a different studio.
It was.
Yeah.
There
very
was a
different.
lot of behind the scenes stuff, but like they probably will. There's a lot of talk that like after Secret Wars they'll recast Iron Man to allow Iron Man to still be in the MCU
Sure.
without Robert Downey Jr. being back. But this would be like the Secret Wars of Pokemon, where they can now recast these characters but still have the characters exist because they are big legacy characters.
That's interesting. All right, I want to ask this quick question. Drogain in our Discord, he asks these polls all the time. He asked them on his YouTube channel as well, but I thought this one was kind of funny. Pokemon quiz question of the day: which Pokemon which one Actually, I didn't even read this full question. I thought he was just asking which of these Pokemon you would eat.
What's the question?
The question is, which Pokemon would you eat? Magikarp, Barraskewda, Slowpoke, or Basculin? And then it got me thinking, like, I
don't
think
really
fish
like
Pokemon would.
fish
Oh, you don't like fish?
that much. I don't love fish. I'm not gonna lie. I've had really good
What?
swordfish. That was incredible.
Swordfish is fire.
I also really like sushi. That's true.
Sushi
But, like,
is also fire.
some
Sushi's good.
fish I don't. I'm like that fishy taste.
Oh, well, I love
Yeah,
that.
sure.
When you get that
I
with
don't.
salmon, you get that with trout. That's the best.
See, I'm not a big. I agree, Sol. I'm not a big salmon guy. Now, I will say part of that is because my wife is a huge salmon girl, and so we have had a lot of salmon.
She's
and
a
I think
mermaid?
I genuinely got sick of it. Maybe. Who knows? We haven't seen her, so
That'd be epic, bro. That'd be
Yeah.
Um,
Sarah, this I guess I've never. I've only ever seen her face. Wow, she could have a mermaid body.
You haven't seen Waist Down. She might be a mermaid.
Damn.
I
All
have a
those
I have a
pictures we-
story if
she
people want to
replaced
hear
her.
it.
Yeah. No, let's move
I
on.
have
I'm just kidding.
I have a story
Yeah.
about fish. Basically,
Okay.
one time I went and I ate some fish, and later on I went to hang out with my friends after that, and I like felt like there was something stuck in my throat, like my throat was like closing up, kind of
Bro,
thing.
I have that with shrimp.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a thing. That's like self.
My guy, I
But
think
it's
you
just
might be allergic.
shrimp. It's just shrimp. I don't
No,
eat
no,
shrimp
no.
anymore.
Wait for the end of the story. So I'm
He's
just
like,
like
I had to
freaking
use
out.
an EpiPen. I went to the
I
ER.
no, it wasn't like that. I just felt like that. It felt like something was like constantly in my throat, and I was
Yeah.
like hanging out with my friends, just suffering through it, like until 2 a.m. And I was telling them though, like, and there was moments where I would just like be tearing up, like I would just be
Oh
like,
wow.
what is? Every time I swallowed, I'm like, what is happening to me right now? And so I did not know what to do. I kept going to the bathroom and looking like down my throat, and I couldn't see anything or do anything.
That's
And I was
crazy.
just like, guys, I feel like a seagull that has like one of those plastic things around their throat. You know
Oh,
what I'm
wow.
saying? Like,
Save the
that's what-
turtles.
yeah, save the turtles.
Save
it felt
soul.
like that. I felt like that. I went home at probably 2 a.m. and I finally like, because at the same time I was trying to like be in like hanging out with my friends, you know.
Wait.
At the same, so I finally went home and like stopped thinking about my friends and all of that, and I was dying. Don't get me wrong. And so I went to the bathroom and I looked down my throat, and there in my throat, in the back, was a fish bone,
Oh,
like stuck into.
are you
my,
kidding me?
Yeah, like I think it was my tonsil. It was stuck into my tonsil or
Ooh.
something like
So
that.
you
and it was
actually,
just
it's like a splinter in your throat. So that's
Like,
why you were
yeah.
crying. Oh my.
dude. Every time I swallowed, the thing was like doing this, and I did it, and
Ooh.
it was.
It's
there, and
like
it was stuck in
Dory
my
in the
throat.
whale.
Yeah, so I took tweezers, just a
In
pair
the
of
back of your
tweezers, and I
throat?
went back in the back of my throat and just popped it
Dude.
right out,
Oh, I can
and that
feel
was
it.
it. And now I'm just like, yo,
Oh,
fish, get away from me, fish, bro, because I don't want any basculin or barracuda.
I know, and
like,
all those fish.
imagine the bones.
The inspirations of these fish are super bony, so I don't blame you. But anyways, just wanted to shout
That's
out.
my story.
Just wanted to shout out Drogine for asking those every single day. It's always fun to talk about those. Kayla's next in the Discord. What is your opinion on evolutionary methods becoming more complicated? Are these new methods cool puzzles to be solved, or are they just an extra complication for including these Pokemon in future games? And
Depends
also,
on the one.
I kind of want to run to the bathroom. You guys want to keep it going?
Okay, yeah, go. We got it from here.
I'll be right back. Give me a second.
I've got the questions here, but we'll wait on you to move on. But we'll continue.
No,
Talking
you can move
about this.
on. I'll literally be right back though.
Okay. So my answer would be it depends on the Pokemon. I think things like Inkay are really cool. Flipping the switch upside, or now switch, but before it was the 3DS upside down for it to evolve makes sense because Malamar is an upside down Inkay, right? Some things, honestly, the only one I can think of that I am not a fan of is the Yamask, Galarian Yamask. That's like, I feel like it shouldn't be so obscure that no one's going to find it. You know what I mean? Like, you had to find coding to see that. Now, if there was an NPC that like was near that rock and mentioned, "Hey, I walked around this area and suddenly my Yamask evolved," that would be one thing. But like,
That would have been
nothing right. That
That
would
would've
have
been
I would have loved the evolution like that. But there is literally nothing to suggest. I can't remember who it was. It was someone in our Discord, but someone suggested like catching Yamask near a rune, and you read the rune and it says something about the Dusty Bowl. And so like you have a little clue, but there's nothing like that. They just expect you to magically catch this thing and know. So that's
it's
my
like
thought.
when the fans make something better than Game
Right.
Freak.
Yes.
Like all those ideas are great ideas. Why couldn't they just do one little thing like that? But
Right.
I don't know. I don't mind too much at the same time because I literally just look it up. Most of the time when I'm looking for a Pokemon, I just look up where they're at. Or like,
Oh, I try to
how to do
I
it.
do that with a Pokemon I want because I don't want to like I remember the Pokemon I always think of with this is Applin. There's like, so you get it either from shaking trees in Sword and Shield, or because I'm talking about for my Sword and Shield team, I used a Flapple,
Mhm.
or it's a 5% encounter
Base.
rate on that wrap between Turfield and Holbury. And like, if I did not look it up, it's not even overworld, it's a like random encounter. And if I had not looked that up, I would not have had an Applin on my team.
Yeah.
But the evolution methods I do try to figure out myself, but like if it gets to a point where it's
How can you figure that out? Like that's like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
there's
This one
no
you
way.
couldn't. I remember, so I had a friend growing up who, we all played Pokemon together, and he, no joke, he had a level 100 Riolu because he would always play his game at night and never figured out that it had to be happiness in the daytime.
That's so
So he had a level 100 Riolu. And back then, because I think it wasn't until Sword and Shield, it might have been Alola, you could give a rare candy to a level 100 Pokemon to evolve it. But back then, nope. His Riolu is a Riolu forever. And he doesn't play
Bro,
Pokemon anymore, so that
even
Riolu is a
think?
Riolu.
What did he even think? He's like, oh, it evolves at level 100 or what? He's like, I'm at level 99. It's gotta evolve now.
Right. Which, oh, by the way, shout out to Jark because he just commented on the chat that that rune idea was his idea.
Yeah.
I do remember that now. Thank you, Jark.
Dang, we got 168 people in here.
I know we have 168. That's kind of wild.
Y'all can say some stuff too.
But so I guess you're saying like that's kind of your thought process too, Soul, is like it just can't be too complicated, or you really don't care.
To be honest, I was reading the chat again when he said the question, but I've got a good grip on like what's going on now.
It's basically, do you like overcomplicated evolution methods or not?
I do like them to be interesting, but not too like complicated like that.
Yeah,
Not
so
where it's like
same
you
answer.
cannot figure it out. Like you cannot figure
Right. Like
the
the
rune.
Yamask thing is
No.
dumb.
There's no way that you would have ever figured it out without
Exactly.
finding out about it.
Right.
Before. I don't know who. Somebody might have figured it out, but I think they probably just looked at the data.
No.
I
no
think they
one,
make sense.
No one figured it out.
I think they line up with old school evolutions. They are more complicated, but they're just as weird. I always think, I'm like, what is the story going to be on the playground, right? When you're playing through it and someone goes, oh, did you know if you have to go underneath this thing because with this and it has to be at this level, right? We had all those sort of stories back in the day. None of them were real, but these were real,
I mean, it wasn't for like every evolution though. I really like that it's a challenge. I love that it's a challenge. Like if there's challenges, but
yeah, like I think
challenge
things
possible.
like a lot of the Hisuimons, like Ursaluna, Weirdeer, Bassilin, where like Bassilin has to take a amount of recoil damage. Weirdeer has to use Sideshow Bash Agile style like 20 times. Ursaluna has to be the peat blocks during a full moon, and is it in the Crimson Mirelands or not? I think it has to be in the Crimson Mirelands. Could be wrong about that, but they,
I mean, even something a little more interesting than that or challenging than that would be great.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Kayla says if there was an NPC that explained it or kind of tipped you off, that would make sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. Like I was telling Soul when you were gone, Dusty, Jark in our Discord, he had said, we were talking about this a little bit in here, and he had said that it would be cool if like you caught Galarian Yamask, and in the area where you catch Galarian Yamask, there is a rune, and it like says something about the Dusty Bowl. So it's a little clue that, hey, maybe its evolution's tied to the Dusty Bowl.
I love that.
Instead of just like expecting us to catch that thing and magically know, oh well, obviously I have to walk in under the Dusty Bowl with my Yamask at like 14 HP.
Yeah. For me, it's just like it all comes back down to if Pokemon just had proper side quests in it, I would be so happy.
Yeah.
Because this would just be like kind of like a side quest. Like you talk to a specific guy, and then he tells you, oh, you have to do this to do that, and then they make a few more steps to it. But yeah,
Jerk has another example of like the Relicanth, almost showing the Hoenn map, and that being a tip off for the Regitomb.
Dude,
that's another good example.
So much. Ever since Dusty, you changed my life.
Yeah, I know, that's a
fact about
big
Relicanth.
change.
I really thought you guys would like Coffer Grievous more. I wish I changed your life on that one.
Nope.
Runerigus is really cool.
See, I think it's ugly when it like moves all the blocks like it looks.
Do you
stupid.
see the
It's
blocks?
a
Or do
puzzle
you see,
Pokemon.
do you see the blocks or do you see the snake? Because I just see like the dragon snake thing. I don't really. It's
I
cool.
see the snake more.
Yeah,
so,
But it's a picture.
The
It's
snake
not.
is the Pokemon to me,
No.
and the eye on it.
I mean,
mean,
he
the
is
real-
right.
that's
That
kind of
is just a
interesting.
picture, really.
It's
but-
just a
It
picture.
is.
It's not real.
But it's the same thing with Cofagrigus though. It's literally the actual Pokemon is just like a Ghastly in there with a,
Right.
it's like
Well,
hands.
that's what's cool to me. It's like it's possessing something, and then it's got all these arms coming off of
That's
it.
why you like the guitar idea so much.
Yeah, it's cool.
'Cause
I
you're a
feel like that would look
Cofagrigus
like a
guy.
I like
Similar,
Rotom. Yeah. All right. Shout out Squirtle Master Kenobi. This guy's
Kenobi.
This guy's an OG. I've seen his videos. I've seen his Star Wars sequel trilogy like analysis videos. But shout out for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Gen
Thank
10
you.
needs to marry Paldea's open world in gym tradition with the great narrative and catching mechanics and item crafting of Legends Arceus. I know that too much good. I know that's almost too good for Pokemon, but that's what Game Freak needs. And I'm kind of split on this. 'cause-
Really went there. It really went there.
yeah, like I want that, but part of me does recognize that there is a magic, right,
Mhm.
to these like cookie cutter Pokemon games, right? There
Yeah.
are some elements that need to stay consistent for it to be like the number one, right? To be such a successful game, right?
Yeah.
Financially at least. And then I think there's
the
room in these.
action
Yeah.
elements of Legends Arceus. The crafting,
I think that's what people wouldn't like.
I like. Okay, so I think the idea of crafting would be cool as long as, and this was the case in Legends Arceus, to an extent at least, as long as you can also still buy items. Like, I would
Sure.
hate to have to, like, like primarily if I want Pokeballs, I need to craft them myself. And that's fun for a story, but you have to also think about a game's longevity, right? Like, you have to think about the fact that, like, for example, Scarlet and Violet, the intention is for us to, even after the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, to play it for VGC and stuff next
Yeah.
year, So you have to think about a game lasting longer than just its playthrough.
Yeah.
And item crafting gets messy in that area,
I feel like
especially when you...
I would think item crafting would make a lot of things more accessible, right?
It's all about how they do it. It's all about how they do it.
I mean, I think it's kind of, yeah, it is all about how they do it, but it's kind of minimal, isn't it? I mean, compared to everything else he said, I've always agreed to that they should mix the two. I think they should
like,
definitely mix the two.
Correct me if I'm wrong, and I very well might be. It's been a while since I've picked up Legends. But I saw who was it in chat? Was it J Cool? I think someone was saying they were
Very
playing
cool.
they were playing Legends Arceus while watching, and so they can answer this question if they're here. It was crap. Why can't I find him? But I think you could craft like I think you could buy the first 2 levels of the Pokeballs, because you know how like each Pokeball had like 3 levels, right? Like
Yeah.
there was the Pokeball, the Great Ball, the Ultra Ball, and there was like an equivalent of that with the Heavy and the Feather Balls. I think you couldn't buy the final form. You couldn't buy the big Feather Ball and the big Heavy Ball in stores. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Like I said, it's been a while.
You talking about, I'm sorry, Legends Arceus?
It was J Rocket. It was J Rocket said that.
Okay.
That he was playing Legends.
I don't think
But
you
yeah,
can.
in Legends.
Can you buy them? You can probably get them from. You can get them from you can get them from Volo or like the Travelers. I don't know if you can buy them. I think you have to. Maybe you can buy them. I don't know.
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying is those would have to be like
Yeah.
purchasable, not just craftable, because there's a really important. For the record, honestly, to be real, because Pokemon doesn't want you to gin your Mons,
Yeah.
and well, if you don't make Pokeballs easily accessible, if you don't make it easy for me to catch them on, I'm not, but
Yeah.
people are gonna gin up.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I think is the reality. It's like you can make like whatever you. I don't know. It's like you can't really use items. You can't use more than one item or one hold item, right? In a battle. So it doesn't matter how many you can make if they're super accessible through crafting, right? It's like who cares? I just think it makes the game easier. And then the battle of it all, like the battle section of it, it's so removed from the main gameplay that you can really. I feel like the main game can be whatever it needs to be, right? The only reason why Legends Arceus doesn't have a battle co-op battling or player PvP battling is because they have a different battle engine. But if it had the same battle engine, then there would be nothing stopping it from being compatible with BDSP or whatever else,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how to mix them because I know he suggested something different, but I feel like the split areas was actually good, like then having a hub, and moving from that to that, and then just using like the normal battle style would just be cool. And
the battle system doesn't need to change at all, right? Just just upgrade it, make little fun gimmicks or like new. Like kind of update it, refresh it every generation, but keep the battle system the same.
People love that you could like move your character while doing it, but I just didn't like that the focus was the character instead of the Pokemon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I didn't love like the Pokemon's just like chilling there. You could just run away. I'm just like I
like that. I like that.
I don't because
that
I don't
felt
want
real.
the character to be the focus, though. I want the Pokemon to be the focus.
Yeah, and that is how you define a Legends game, right? It really comes down to like what is the focus? It's the character.
Honestly, it would be cool if the way to set this up for Scarlet and Violet would be after you beat the league, maybe it's like, oh, since you're a champion ranked trainer, there are more classes available, and one of the classes is a catching class. So after you beat the game, you can go back and Legends Arceus style catch. Because then in the main story, like you said, Soul, it focuses on the Pokemon. You have to battle Pokemon to catch them. But it builds the game's longevity because once you've beaten the game, you can now easily shiny hunt and you can do these things a little bit easier because you've now unlocked the Legends Arceus style catching.
I think there is no reason why we can't have a Gen 10 game that's like a carbon copy of the Gen 9 engine, but you can also like hold down a button to go into zoom mode. You're zooming like you're about to throw your Pokeball and then throw Pokeballs at wild Pokemon. I don't see why that can't be incorporated. That could be a Gen 10 remake feature, right? And whatever engine that's going to be in. I don't see why that can't be incorporated because we already have a sense of urgency in Scarlet and Violet where Pokemon will run at you. And that's really the thing that I feel like they don't want to lean too much into. Like, you can't die, right? Worst thing that can happen is you just enter a battle or you like don't see a shiny, right? In Legends, you die. Like, that's right. That's the difference. So
yeah.
You black out. You don't.
I like
Pokemon Dusty.
There's so many.
You get saved by Arceus.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There's so many great things about Legends that they should keep and put in the main games, and that's it. Like almost everything. But the battling is the only thing that I would want to keep really like classic.
Consistent.
That's my thing.
People talk about changing battling to make it more like Pokken tournament or something, and I'm like, it's so different. Like literally, and I don't think it'll ever happen because the VGC is so well established, right? That's like, would you say the VGC is? Oh, I guess what I'm talking about. Yeah, VGC. Do you think,
absolutely?
Do you think that's like the highest thing above TCG and above Go? Like at Worlds, like what's most important?
TCG's been hot lately, so it's starting to really become a truly an equal to VGC in terms of like what the Pokemon company prioritizes. But I would say the fact that the finals at Worlds, the final thing they do is the final, awards, the final, battle they showcase are the Masters division of VGC. I would say that is clearly the bread and butter they're wanting to focus on, which makes sense too, right? Because at the end of the day, Pokemon has their They have their hands in all kinds of different fields, but at the end of the day, it started with a video game, Like we say,
which is crazy because it's like
for Disney, it started with a video game for Pokemon. So they're going to prioritize VGC over because that is their mainline games, their successor to Pokemon Red and Blue, or Red and Green now.
Yeah. Drogain says if they did an action RPG for Pokemon, it will never be the main series, maybe a side game. That's what,
I was actually thinking.
I mean,
Go ahead, Soul.
I was just gonna say never say never, but I mean,
never say never.
I do agree.
Never
mostly.
say never.
I feel it'd be really hard.
I do think they could easily like we were talking about contests earlier and bringing them back. it would be cool if maybe in the mainline games there was like a second facility, like, think like the battle royal or contest or something, where you can battle in like Pokken tournament style.
Yeah.
And then they could have VGC, but then they could also have a bracket at Worlds that is, like they had Pokken tournament that is using Scarlet and Violet or whatever the Gen 10 games are, but it's using that format of battle. That
Sure.
would be kind of neat.
That would be cool. Squirtle Master Kenobi says for the crafting.
Oh, you actually are skipping a super chat. Just so you're aware. I figured we needed to do
yes.
more.
I don't know if you want to do that one first,
Yeah.
just because it's related to
Yeah,
this.
Squirtle Master
Yeah.
Kenobi off the same point that we're talking about.
Okay.
For crafting, you could, and thank you, man, appreciate it. Right. For the
Yeah.
crafting, you could make
Thank
it.
you.
I'm not trying to brush over it. I'm just trying to keep the conversation.
Yeah, I
going.
know. It's,
Right.
Thank
Right.
you. I
It was
really,
like
really,
answering
we
the
appreciate
question.
it.
Yeah.
For the crafting, you could make it so all basic items are purchasable, like you said, but it's cheaper to craft, and that would be the benefit of crafting. Yeah, that makes sense. There
Sure.
has to be. You have to gamify it, where there's
Yeah.
cost and benefits to doing whatever you have to do. Right? It's kind of
Yeah.
like in regular Pokemon games, we have a similar thing where it's like you can go out of your way to get the lava cookies because it does the same thing as a full heal. But it's out of the way, and you have to buy them individually, but they're cheaper.
Right.
It's kind of like that. It's like
Yeah, it's-
choose your adventure.
Right. It reminds me of like Scarlet and Violet's done something a little bit similar with like bottle caps and mints used to be BP only, like you
Yes.
could only purchase them with battle points.
Yeah.
But now you can go to a a Delibird store or a Chansey store and you can get a you can buy it with actual money. So it is quicker than doing raids for bottle caps,
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
even though it's so more expensive.
Man, I really want another Legends game. Purely, literally, for the gameplay. I think the gameplay is so cool.
Mhm.
It is a lot of fun.
I'm-
I'm hoping I have
I'm
like a
like-
month off, or not a month off, but like a kind of a slow month in like December, and I can just like live stream. Right? I keep wanting to do that, and then I'm like, it just doesn't make sense financially. But
I'm going back to Legends because I still haven't caught Enamorous. So I'm trying to go
true.
back and get that, like, do that whole thing. You want to do that super chat that we
Yeah,
From
Su-
Luxu.
Luxu, Luxo,
Luxu.
Luxray,
Luxray.
Luxray.
Ah!
Thank you. Appreciate you. Happy Halloween, y'all. So, question: what do you guys think of a Pokemon MMORPG? Could that work for the franchise? And happy Halloween to you.
All right, y'all help me here because
Thank
I'm not
you.
good with video game terms. What is an MMORPG?
I think it's like a
I
mass,
want it.
mass mobile something.
Like, give me an example. Give me a video game that is an
RuneScape.
MMORPG. Give
Or-
me another example.
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Give me another example.
Are there any modern ones?
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, World of Warcraft. Yeah.
Give me another example. Good God.
Bro, if you don't know what World of Warcraft is, I don't even know what to
I
tell
don't-
you.
I know what it is, but I've never played it.
Okay,
Like,
I'll
The-
just
literally,
explain
the,
what it
the
is to
three
you.
that I just described are like the three top ones.
is
in a
is
search.
like
The
is that
Elder
like
Scrolls Online.
Pixelmon? Is that Pixelmon?
No.
that Adrian does. Is that considered that?
Maybe it's so it's an online game, right? It's literally listen. This is what it would be. This is what he would be describing: a regular Pokemon game, but you see other characters in the overworld permanently, and you can only play when you're actually online, right? So it's like you log on, you're online, and now everything that happens is all dependent on the people that are in the game. So there are no NPCs. All the NPCs are actual people.
Okay.
Right? So like the concept sounds a ton of fun, but it feels like it would be this is the issue that I have, I think, with every single game, Pokemon
Wait, so
game.
it would be like Fortnite?
No, Fortnite's like well, yeah, so that's the online part of it, right? Cuz Pokemon right now
Like
you
where
can
there's
battle
no NPCs. I mean, again, I've only watched
Yes.
my nephew play Fortnite like 5 years ago, so it might be something totally
Yeah, but
different now.
the thing with Fortnite it only lasts like 30
like
minutes.
it's on timer, right?
Yeah, right.
But it's like unlimited Fortnite.
But it's like there is no overworld. It's like you go to Paldea and every single person in the world, or maybe like only, I don't know how many people would show up at once, would show up. And then it's basically like you're
It's
walking.
Game Freak, so 3 other people, right?
Yeah, or think of it like Minecraft where it's like you have your inventory, right? You're walking around. If you die, you drop your inventory. Kind of like in Legends Arceus, right? And then
Yeah.
and then people can
and then
pick that
people
up.
could find the notes. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
But it's like
I'd like that.
right? And to level up, you have to actually like do whatever the quests are. And there's I don't know. It sounds like
That'd
a
be cool,
lot.
and like you have battlefields in each town, kind of like there are in Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
Except this time they'd have a use where it's like, hey, you want a battle, and you could just run over to the town's little
Yeah.
battle field, and oh man, that could be sick.
See, this is
Here-
okay.
here's
This
the
is the
thing, though.
thing. Yeah. What's up?
I just need to explain an MMO properly to Lumi.
Yeah,
But it is
Drogain's
not
flaming
like
us right now.
Fortnite. It's not Fortnite at all. Fortnite is a battle royale, like you battle each other kind of thing.
Yeah,
Drogain
but
called me
Lumi-
a young boomer.
Yeah. I think that means you're a millennial.
Yeah. Listen, it's just a game where you go into the game and everyone is online playing the same game with you. Like,
Oh, it's like Angry Birds.
no, like a whole
I love
like
solitaire.
story and everything. Like,
Isn't that Minecraft? I've never played Minecraft either, but it's Minecraft and MMORPG.
There are
MMORPG?
servers. There are Minecraft servers where your friends can all play in the same server in the same world live. So that element of it is real. And I'll be honest, I've never actually played an actual MMORPG. Like I've never actually like delved into it completely. I've played my buddy played RuneScape growing up. I think the biggest thing here, as amazing as that sounds, I think Pokemon is slowly adding elements of that. We've seen that with the wild area. We've seen that even more so with the co-op play. I feel like there will be maybe an inflection point where it actually feels like it is more of an MMORPG than not. But I don't think we'll ever actually get that, because what that would do is I feel like that would divide the fandom or the people who are actually willing to buy Pokemon games.
I want a Pokemon Zoo Tycoon.
yeah, I mean they could.
That would be pretty cool, honestly.
I don't think that they will ever do it either, because it's just too different. It's just like saying, what if Pokemon was an action game?
Yeah.
Would I like it?
Yeah.
I would in a way, but not as the main main series game.
Yeah.
Probably. It's like Lumi when we were in Sword and Shield and you were in the wild area, and then your
Yes.
friend just came running
Oh,
by.
yeah,
Yeah,
and you'd
yeah.
see people ride their
Yeah.
bikes over
Yeah.
the lake, and they'd just be in the air riding.
And it would
their
look
bike.
that
That's
crappy.
literally what it. Yeah, it would literally be like that. It's all online, and then you can get your friends and go do something specific, like let's go battle this person or this Pokemon. That's,
And listen,
that's what it.
and Drogain has the perfect thing right here, right? He says it would work if all regions were available in the game as set pieces to explore with others, and that makes
Well,
sense
yeah.
to me, right? Because you
Yeah,
can't
because
just
it would
have
have to be that
Paldea.
massive.
It would have to be massive, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
there is oh man, this might be a throwback. I don't even know if it's still a thing, but there was like an equivalent of that made online. It was a website.
Club Penguin.
No.
Webkins.
It was Pokemon. It was Pokemon.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't the Pokemon company made it. It was like fan made. But I can't. Y'all chat if you can remember what I'm talking about. Please post it.
All right.
But
Well,
there was
you
this
guys,
thing-
yeah.
You could pick your starter, and you'd pick the whole lineup. So at the time I'm playing, it's through Unova.
Yeah.
So you could pick Snivy, but you could also pick Bulbasaur. You could pick all of them, and then you'd pick a starting place, and there'd be a bunch of other people there, and you could click on them, and you could trade or battle with them and stuff.
Yeah.
I
don't remember this at all.
You could also walk around, find wild Pokemon.
That sounds cool. I feel like an
They're saying
MMORPG.
Pokemon Crater. That doesn't sound like it, but
This is what people want. People have been asking for this since Gen 4, I feel like.
It would be such a fun idea, but the thing is, they kind of did it with Scarlet and Violet.
I think it was
and
Poke
I did
MMO.
not even play it.
Someone
Did
said
you?
that in chat. Who said that in chat?
How many people actually played the online
Hayden
with their
Crow.
friends thing? In
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet. Because
Never.
I didn't-
I don't
I
do it.
played
There's
it-
no benefit to
never.
it. If there was a
Jesse, you
benefit,
went on a field trip to Castle Royal Lake with your friends. I remember
yeah.
seeing
Oh,
that
that's
on Twitter.
true. Yeah, that's true. I
You
guess
did when it first came out.
when it first
right?
came out,
But
yeah. And
I
and
never did it, and I don't know if it would be really that great if they ever made a whole game of just doing that.
I
It's
kind of
all about-
liked. I kind of liked in Sword and Shield how people would just spawn regardless. That kind of made it feel like a living region. I don't think they did it right because it just felt like too many people,
So random.
right?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we get another super chat from Squirrel Master Kenobi. We're indebted to
Dude,
this
you
guy
rock.
at this point. Typically, there are group instances, raids, and dungeons. Those could be the evil teams and legendaries. I have also wanted a Pokemon MMO. Yeah, and
I mean,
that's kind of the thing.
it
We have
would
raids
be
now. We have
awesome.
raids. Pokemon games
Yeah.
are
Like
raids.
Dynamax Adventures.
Yeah, I think Pokemon games are turning into that at some point, or slowly. And I
They're
think
adding elements for sure.
And at some point, it's going to look a lot like an MMO without actually being it. But I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. That could be the dream.
I enjoy having. There's definitely some things that they can improve upon, but I enjoyed the Scarlet and Violet feature just because, you know, my wife plays Pokemon. She's actually, you know, I don't know. I think I've told you guys this, but she's genuinely like as big of a Pokemon fan as I am. But she's just shyer than me, and that's the only reason she doesn't have a YouTube or is on. But so her and I like to, you know, when a new game comes out, we play that game together. We, you know, go to the store and buy it, and we come back to the house and binge it for the weekend. And it was cool in Scarlet and Violet to be able to have us like she's right there, and we're running to the next town together, and you know, she has her little Sprigatito following her, and I have my Cyclozar following me. You know, that was pretty cool. There's, you know, things that they could do to make it more interactive between the two, but I will say that is kind of special to me. That like, maybe that's dumb, but that's
it makes total sense. They even like Game Freak, their whole thing with Pokemon was to make a multiplayer game. You know, like you were supposed to be able to connect with your friends.
Yeah,
it's
battle
crazy
your friends, trade
to
with
think
your friends
that way, but I've read multiple interviews where that's where they've said stuff like that. So I think that they still want that kind of thing, and even like look at Let's Go. Just in the more recent years, they've been trying to implement it even more like a multiplayer kind of thing.
But it's obviously really difficult to do. Kayla had said there can be server issues.
Oh
but
my
like
gosh, those games are like so buggy.
Yeah,
and like just imagine the state of what we've got with Pokemon right now, and just imagine an MMO. I would, if they did it right and well, that would be pretty epic.
Yeah, but I think Pokemon Go would be really cool if like you could see other trainers walking around. That'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then without actually, I mean, that's probably like they probably don't do that because it's a risk. Because then you can like see where people are.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
That is true.
But yeah, that's a super cool idea. I do think we're headed towards that at some point. And they've already, as soon as they announced raids, I was like, oh, it's game time. I'm like, finally, this is what they're going to be trying to lead into. Like raids have been huge. I feel like raids have been massive and so popular.
Yeah, they have, but
I don't care about them like that. But
them.
I've given up battling as like my primary interest in Pokemon. Right.
Can't you? And well, you should change that, Dusty. Can't you?
I'm a photographer now. I just take pictures of Pokemon.
I want to battle you more, Dusty.
Well, we should battle. I have teams.
We should. Yeah. Well, please let's. But can't you now? I think it was added in Teal Mask. You can when you're online. Like so, if you know the three of us are online in the same world on our games right now.
Yeah.
I can be over in Castle Royal Lake, and Dusty can be over in Zapapico, and I can send him a picture I took. So
yeah,
like,
that's true.
Isn't that a thing now? No,
I'm laughing at the way you said. Is it
no,
Zapapico?
But I'm just saying, is it a thing? I pronounce it Zapapico. I don't
Zapapico.
We'll have to get like a Spanish person to do the right pronunciation.
But like, can you do that or not?
Spanish speaking person.
I don't know if you can send pictures. I don't think you can send pictures.
I think you can in Teal Mask.
You can?
I think they added it from that DLC.
I actually have no idea.
It'd be cool if there was like
what do I pay you for?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me neither.
All right, you guys want to move on? We have another question by Adept Sharon.
What up, Sharon?
This is in the Discord. What type of regional form for Meowth would you like to see next? Should they make it catch up on Eevee by adding like 8 Meowth forms to cover all the gritty physical skill types that don't seem to fit the more elemental concept behind evolutions? That's actually really interesting. I didn't think of it like that, but Meowth actually, it's a Gen 1 Pokemon. It's a normal type Pokemon, and now they have regional forms. Yeah, all the regional forms are, dark. Alolan Meowth is dark type, which crosses over to Umbreon. So it's not like it actually is like a physical evolution, but that is interesting. I think Meowth is as iconic as Pikachu or Eevee or Poliwhirl or whatever else. I think I really thought they were going to continue to give us Meowth regionals. I like it. I don't like Meowth that much, and I don't love all of the regional forms, but I can appreciate them. And
I definitely liked like the consistency or like the idea that they
Yeah.
would do it for every
I like-
generation would be
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
But
because it's a cat, it's like, of course there's gonna be different breeds of cats, right? Kayla could get her fluffy cat, right?
I mean, Galarian Meowth was kind of a fluffy cat.
It kind of was
I was so disappointed in Galarian Meowth after, like, because when it first
with
leaked,
Berserker.
no, well, when it first leaked, it was amazing. I was like, this is so good. And then you saw it in game, and you found out that like,
It's
wasn't
a beard,
just
not a fluffy cat.
Yeah.
it wasn't a fluffy cat, like a ball of cat, which I thought is what it was. Instead, it was like a flap of skin with like fur on it. Like,
Then
have
also
you ever
the
looked at it?
Affleck.
It's not a flappus. It's
even
no,
said
it's
Bro,
a
it's
spiky
hair.
ball of fur.
It's a beard.
Bro, look at it.
I've
Tell me
seen it. It's not a flap of skin.
It's
Sol.
a flap.
It's not a flap of skin.
Listen,
It's a
listen.
beard.
It's
Hair
it's
doesn't do that.
round. Yes, it does.
Beards-
yes, it does.
Beards don't do that.
So
Beard-
it's
no,
Pokemon. The
dude,
hair does that. Look, I'm
long
with
beards
you on
do that.
Conkeldurr made a man bun out of flesh, and it's disgusting. But
If you've ever seen a guy with a long beard, once it
I
gets
know
to a
it- I
certain
know
length, it literally has like it's like an appendage. It just like it
watch
blows in the
Duck
wind.
Dynasty,
Slaps, bro.
Soul.
It
Watch Duck
slaps.
Dynasty.
I know, but it's like literally
Yes, it's
a piece of its
I
body.
know what you're
Okay,
saying, I know what
it's
you're
a
saying,
part of its body, and I just wish
I've
that
seen
it
it
was
too,
a
I know what you're
fluff
saying.
ball like it was supposed to be.
it's a Viking beard.
In my
That's
mind.
what it is. In
But
my
Berserker-
mind.
Berserker is amazing. I love Berserker.
Berserker is
because
really cool. Yeah.
The beard is more beard, let's say.
Yeah.
So what
anyway.
kind of what other types would you want to see for a regional Meowth?
Okay, so I had to look this up to make sure I got it right, but I had heard this like when I was studying up on because when you remember we thought that Meowth forms were like a given at one point.
Yeah.
So when Paldea's coming up, we're like, what will Meowth be? So I did some research and I found this is obviously not Spanish, but I came across it. In the Alps, there was a like old folklore of something called a tatzelworm, and it is basically a long dragon cat, and I
Interesting.
want it.
Oh, I made a video about this.
I need to see a picture. Can we pull that up somehow?
Yeah, I made a video
I
about
can
this.
send you a picture on here if you'd like.
Yeah,
think
that will work.
I think Meowth
let me grab
totally
it.
looks like it could be a drag. I would love a dragon cat so much.
I mean, I just want a dragon no matter what. Like, I'm the person that's like, give me all the dragons and bugs, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I just sent it in the trust.
Oh, here we
okay.
go.
Oh,
Oh, dude.
yeah,
Here,
so-
I'll show it up here. This is you
Okay,
guys
good.
this is our secret channel.
that's better
that gonna
though.
work?
No, you gotta like
It's kind of out of focus.
focus. How do you? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I see. It has a cat face.
Yeah, it's literally like a dragon with a cat face.
I could
love
see
it.
that being like a Persian or a
Right.
Persian, like a regional Persian, or
Right.
it would be.
That's kind of like Gigantamax Meowth, though, isn't it?
Wow, it is. But it's
I was
actually,
thinking
I mean, it's very obviously a long cat, but yeah.
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 They should have just made it a freaking dragon type. I actually really love Gigantamax Meowth like a whole lot
Yeah.
because I like long snake-like creatures. That's
Sure.
basically why. But yeah, a dragon type for Paldea would be epic. We can go with that. What you just said. Like,
Yeah.
that's
I like that a lot.
That would be its evolution, though. So what would its like?
Well,
normal
honestly, that's
Meowth-
kind of what we're getting with that's kind of what we got with Raging Bolt, right?
yeah, true. But
Long-headed
the rest of its
cat,
body is like
It's a
dinosaur.
tatzelworm. Raging Bolt is a tatzelworm.
Tweet it. Send it. Tweet it.
That's Dusty's first
Accurate
thought.
one.
Um,
So we got a question from Sampy in our Discord. He's a channel supporter. Are there any fan games like Pokemon Glazed, Pokemon Sage, Pokemon Insurgents, Pokemon Infinite Fusion, etc., that y'all have played or want to play? And yeah, do you guys have any like experience with any sort of ROM hacks?
When
I've
it was
never
like the
played them.
hype, like when Shady Penguin was doing his playthrough of it,
Yeah.
I played Insurgents, but at the time, like there was like a beta version of it, so it wasn't even the full game.
Yeah.
And no hate on the creators of Pokemon Insurgents, but I got a little bored with it and tapped out. So
Interesting.
I have never played a ROM hack, but recently I've been like thinking about it because
It's fun to do.
I don't see why I wouldn't like it. They're just like Pokemon games, basically.
They're literally Pokemon games with like imaginary regions.
Mhm.
The thing that I have trouble with is understanding where it is in the rest of the Pokemon world. So a lot of the ROM hacks that I play are twists or improvements, alterations to previous regions. One of my favorite ROM hacks that I've played.
Radical Red.
I did play Radical Red, which was really cool. Do you go to Johto in that as well? Or
I don't remember. I thought it was just
people were
Kanto,
loving
but I don't
that
remember.
one.
Yeah, it might be
People
just
were loving
Kanto, but you get like in post game you can battle Lugia. There's a big battle with Ho-Oh and whatever. That's a lot of fun. You battle Red, or maybe you don't battle Red. I'm forgetting. I played that in like 2015 maybe, and then around that time I also played. It was like called Christmas Crystal or something.
Christmas Crystal.
So it was like the Johto region in the winter,
That's fun.
and there was a lot of like. So there's a lot of you know how Johto is like very interconnected. The routes all lead to each other. Well, there's some
Sure.
areas where there's like ice, where there's a pond that'll be frozen, and then you can skate across it and access. And this is just the base game.
Like an area early.
Yeah. So right in the beginning, you go to Mount right outside of Mount, or like the snow cave or whatever it's called, the ice cave.
Ice Cave, yeah.
And you can get Delibird, you can get Sneasel really early.
Hmm.
And then because it's winter, there's ice encounters all throughout the region. And it's really a lot of it is shifted up, which is cool.
Does Santa appear?
I don't think I beat the game, but I thought that was a lot of fun.
Well,
And then
no Santa, then it's not truly Christmas Crystal.
I'm sure there is. And then the one that I'm dying to play, and I watched the whole series, is Legacy Crystal by what's the guy's name? I'm sure you guys have seen his videos. What's his name? Smith Plays, I think it's what it's called. And he's been like he built a new version of Crystal where it's the same essence of Crystal, so he's not like adding new Pokemon. He's not adding like it's still the Gen 2 engine, but there's just like minor improvements to make it faithful, actually difficult, and things that make sense in lore. So it's like it just feels like an optimized version of Crystal, and he's going through the Kanto region now. I'm excited to play it. I watched the whole series. I love this so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, overall, there's not a lot of, like, I think, I understand, like, Radical Red and stuff, because that's, like, just making, like, a game more challenging, but, like, things like Insurgents, I'm just ultimately not a fan of, because it doesn't feel like Pokemon, right? Like, Insurgents has a lot of cultish,
there'll be like death
murdery
and
stuff in it,
Yeah,
and it's just, like, and it just feels, it's not that that's bad, but it feels so not Pokemon, that it kind of
like,
breaks the immersion, right? Like I'm aware I'm not playing a Pokemon game right now.
That's 100% what it is for me.
Culty murderish stuff isn't bad.
I mean, for a game,
Like there's obviously
Look,
people that are like into that,
look.
like people want
I
edgy
do not
things.
condone culty murderish stuff in the real life. Except
Okay,
it is
good.
Halloween, so now is the perfect
That's
time to
true.
get
It
away
is
with
Halloween.
But,
Dude, we've been watching the Scream movies. I've watched them for the first time, and they're so much fun.
I've never seen one.
Never
I am
seen
not
one?
a fan of scary movies.
Well, they're not that
Not a fan of
scary. They're like
I'm not a fan
campy.
of this whole thing because I'm just not I'm not into the creepy, scary stuff.
But
at
you
all.
love.
yeah, I'm not big on that either. I like the candy.
Yeah, the candy is
The
good.
Twix.
Candy's good.
Um,
No, I've never enjoyed like the ultra scary stuff, like like Conjuring movies and stuff. I can't sit through that. I don't like it at all. I don't like slasher films because those can really happen, so that scares me. And
It's
the
true.
thing I hate the most are like torture-y movies, like Saw and stuff. No, I do not like that at all.
Thrillers, I'm a little bit more about though. Like Saw.
Thrillers
Saw
are
was,
fun.
Saw was like on the verge of like this is scary or this is just like really crazy and interesting. So I don't know. Saw was weird, but
This is kind of
I've never
along
seen
the
it. I've
lines
just
of
seen a trailer, and that's enough to be like, nope.
yeah, it's interesting.
I prefer the Avengers.
Yeah, me too.
I liked
Me too.
WandaVision. Does that count as scary? Multiverse of Madness was kind of scary.
That was creepy, weird stuff for
Mhm,
sure.
yeah, so there you go.
oh, I asked my
Sci-fi horror. Can you give an example, Kayla? What about sci-fi horror?
sci-fi
'Cause
horror would be like what do you call
there are
it?
some that I hate and some that I like.
I'm thinking of what's it called? What is it
Yeah, I
called?
do. Someone said aliens, like Alien.
Alien is good. I will tell y'all
That's like
this.
sci-fi horror a little bit, and I
Dude.
do like Alien and that stuff
Let me
quite a
tell
bit.
you this though. I like Alien and I like the concept of aliens and like the concept of those kinds of movies. But I watched A Quiet Place and I loved it. I thought it was so good. So then A Quiet Place 2 comes out in theaters and my wife and I think she may have even been only my fiance at the time. I don't know. We went and saw A Quiet Place 2, and I kid you not, about 20 minutes into that movie, I turned and looked at her and I said, Sarah, I am so sorry, but I think I might walk out of this theater. Like I will go to Starbucks and I will come and get you when the movie's over. I don't want to ruin your experience, but I don't think I
That's
can
great.
sit
Just
through
leave
this.
her alone in a scary movie.
I did.
In
Well,
Scream,
dude,
that's where people
she,
die.
She does great with that stuff. She does great with that stuff. I hate jump scares. My dad used to always my little sister went through she's 13 now. She went through this phase where she liked to jump scare people as a kid.
I don't like
And
jump scares in real life.
my dad looked at her one day and he told her, he said, "Honey, I love you. And I would never, lay a hand on you, but I'm telling you, you're
If you
going to
jump-
jump scare me one day and you're going to get knocked out. Not because I'm going to knock you
Yeah.
out, but because the jump scare reaction is for me to turn around and
yeah.
swing. Like, have y'all seen the
Fight
video where
or
like the guy
flight.
knocks
Your
out his
dad's
daughter
fighting.
with a cookie pan?
Yeah. I haven't seen that, but I've
Yeah.
seen videos like that. Yeah.
Like
No.
that's what my dad would tell her, and I am exactly the same way. I will say this is kind of a different take on like horror. This is probably not what people think when they hear horror. But have y'all ever read the actual book Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
I don't read.
Great read.
Nope, but
I
I
don't
bet
read
it's good.
either. I think that's the last book I read, and it was because it was
It
required.
scared
in high
you out of
school.
it scared you out of reading.
It's probably like
Nah,
actually good literature though. Like
Yes,
got-
it's good. It's
Yeah.
not horror at all, to be honest.
it's like it's a deep thinking kind of thing.
Yeah, and it was genuinely very good. I stopped reading after that because it was like nothing can top this, and so I stopped.
That was it.
Right.
I've
This was
peaked.
peak book.
I've peaked in reading.
Oh,
Anyway,
Luxu.
Pokemon, guys.
Oh, I just found an opportunity to plug myself, and plug myself I will. Luxu sent a super chat. Thank you so much, Luxu.
Yo.
And they said some of those Pokedex entries would make for good horror. And I would just like to say, I actually have, I do that on my channel. I posted a video last Wednesday, and it is taking like actual stories from Pokemon or actual lore and Pokedex entries and turning them into horror stories. I did that last year. I did like 5 different stories last year and did them all in one video, or did them in different videos. But then this year I just decided to take 5 and put them in one video. Very proud of them. Wrote them myself, all based on like real Pokemon things. Like it's not like I, go too crazy with it, but it's fun.
I haven't watched the
So-
video yet. I gotta check it out.
Gang.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of Pokedex entries that would make really good horror.
It's funny because like I don't really
horror
care
movies.
for horror movies or horror stuff or Halloween. It's
Right.
never really been my favorite, but I really do like a lot of Ghost Pokemon. I feel like Ghost Pokemon would be. My 2 favorite types used to be Ghost and Steel, so they still
Ghost
kind of
There's
work.
honestly, there's some creepy stuff outside that too. Like the Kitakami Dex entry for Lombre says
what does it say?
that
It's
folklore.
true, it's true.
It says
Yeah.
folklore states that
It eats
a
babies.
mischievous child once woke up as this Pokemon.
Whoa, that feels new. That's like an
That's-
addition to
Yeah.
We got to do a whole episodes of humans turning into Pokemon.
Kadabra,
definitely a lot.
Lombre.
Yeah,
There's a lot outside of ghost types for sure, of like
Yeah.
creepy Dex entries.
that we should have done that
I
for the
love Dex
Halloween
entries.
episode.
Yeah. Well, this is, we're kind of talking about horror stuff now.
Yeah,
Um,
that is creepy.
Yeah.
That is weird. I mean, yeah, I guess to keep it Pokemon.
Yeah.
I could keep talking, but we got from Apolloverse Man, AMA question: which region has the best regional Pokedex, including all returning Pokemon? This is from the Discord. They support the channel.
Wow.
This is on topic, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, the best regional Pokedex, not the best Pokedex entry. I mean, it honestly has been really illuminating to do these tier lists with you guys, because I get to reflect on what I like. I get to see what, how you guys differ. I get to see what you guys actually care about. And I feel like I'm getting to know you guys better over this last year through the tier lists, most of all, I think, right?
Yeah, at least our
That's
tastes
funny.
are
I was
not-
just about to say, I think that I'm liking y'all less because of the tier list.
That's true. Yeah, I'm starting to realize how much I hate you.
Dusty, you and I have to have like a therapy session together
I know.
after the Univa one.
I was watching back. I'm listening back. I'm only halfway through. It's crazy. Some people were like, "Took me 4 days, but I finally finished the episode."
I know.
That's
Dude,
nice.
I'm halfway
Dusty
through it, and there's a
literally
scene where I'm like
messaged
yelling
me
at you.
and was like, I didn't hurt your feelings with Unpheasant, did I? Was like, no, I don't care.
Well, I felt like I was getting a little aggressive, mostly as
you should.
like I'm
We
acting.
gotta.
Though. Like I'm present. Like it's like I want to demonstrate how frustrated I am.
It would be so boring if we sat there and Dusty was like, Pheasant is F tier, and I go, I actually believe Pheasant is much higher than F tier.
And then I go,
Dusty,
okay.
I really respect your opinion, and I just want to say I
respect
love you
your
as a
opinion
human,
too.
man.
Yes, let's. Hug.
Anyways, moving on.
We could do that.
It's important to love each other through
The pain
fight.
and the fight.
Some
That's
of
what it
our
is.
most iconic moments are heated arguments, in my opinion. I know it wasn't well received, but Gligar being a crab will always be one of my favorite debates.
Sure.
Was it not well received?
People flamed me, man. They were peed with me.
Yes,
Well,
I
it was a
won.
bad
I
take.
didn't even know. I didn't even know I won.
You absolutely won. Everyone was, people were saying Lumi came off like an angry child throwing a tantrum. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lumi.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
man.
okay.
I thought the same thing.
I didn't know. But yeah, maybe we should answer this question.
Yeah.
that we-
So what has the basically my point was like, I'm starting to understand which regions I actually care about. Right. I think
But
I'm
what
partial.
the best?
Yeah. What is the best? And how do you define the best? I think Alola has some of the
Well, we're
most
saying
unique
regional. That
designs.
would include, just to understand the question, that would include like past Pokemon in the Dex too, right?
Oh, is that what it is?
Like, so I would think so because he says
There's
regional Dex.
Pokedex.
So I would think like
No,
I
but
would
that-
think like Alola would also include having Caterpie be a wild Pokemon there and stuff.
I'm just oh no, including all returning Pokemon.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So
Kalos genuinely has a great lineup.
I think I might pick Hoenn.
Kalos.
So it has a great lineup of returning.
Kalos.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Kalos-
It's not just about returning. He's talking about the entire.
I
thing.
know, but he said including, and that might be the best returning Dex.
For
A
me,
lot of people would agree
Kalos,
with you.
I
Well,
felt like a lot of the Pokemon in Kalos, the returning Pokemon felt just like randomly placed all over, right? Like I feel like they went out of their way to add like 20 encounters per route in Kalos. And I
That's how
felt
it should be, right?
only if it
like-
makes sense though. Only if it makes sense. I feel like Hoenn actually feels Hoenn could have more encounters per like route or whatever, but I feel like every Pokemon, everywhere you find a Pokemon, it makes sense for where it is. That's how I feel. Right?
I really don't know what my answer would be. Maybe Alola.
Alola's good
Really-
too.
I'm
Alola
really
has a
thinking
lot
Alola.
of selections, but it gets fuzzy in these like more recent generations because it's not open world, but it's like I don't know. I don't really know how to even think of this because I like Hoenn, but I'm also like, well, there's so many Pokemon that aren't in Hoenn that should be in Hoenn or could be, right? Like why is Maractus not in the desert, right? Gen 5 might be it.
It's so hard to like actually guess because then you're talking about like Hoenn back then. There weren't some Pokemon.
Yeah,
or,
yeah, exactly.
like, it's tough. Anyway, I think Alola's my answer, but
It's tough to say, yeah.
Alola is really good.
Alola's good. I think of Mount. I'm not even gonna attempt to say it.
I don't remember what it was.
The
It's like
mountain where you get
Kalikimaki or
meteor and you get
Kalikali.
yeah, where you get the Beldum. That's what I'm thinking of.
Lumi knows, but he's not paying attention.
Well, yeah, repeat that. Sorry,
What's the mountain?
In chat.
The mountain in Alola.
Mount Kalikimaki.
Lanakila or Hokulani?
Hokulani.
Wanakila. That's the one I was thinking of.
Hokulani is the one with mini orange stuff.
Yeah, that's
Lanakila is the ice
of.
one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, honestly, see, the question is regional Pokedex, but I'm thinking of it as like the Pokemon in a region and whether or not they fit the region. And Alola has one of the best regions. Like, it's just beautiful. So, yeah, I'll go Alola. That sounds fair. That sounds fun.
Alola is good. So the consensus, oh my gosh, we agreed live?
Wow.
My best friends.
It happens rarely. It's true.
I don't know how much more longer you guys want to go, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, get your questions in. AMA. Oh, this is by Elite Trainer Kenway, friend, creator, supporter of the channel. This is from the Discord. What animal food Oni would you like to see become the base for a Pokemon? It's a similar question to earlier, but it's interesting that he said Oni. Do you guys have any Onis?
I think it means yokai. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Onis, like,
Are there
a little
any
bit
that you guys can
general.
think of that are not represented?
I think he means yokai too, and
There are a lot of
off the top of my
yokai.
head.
There are a lot of yokai that when I did, you know, we were talking about my predictions video. I did one for Kitakami
Yokai.
as well, and there was a lot of speculation I did based off of yokai. I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember some right now. One thing I said honestly is that I would like a Kappa that is a bit more true to a Kappa's nature. Kappa are extremely violent and territorial and mean. And Ludicolo is this happy-go-lucky dancing Pokemon. Capsakid is kind of a Kappa, but Scovillain is not.
Yeah.
So I would like a Kappa that is in design true, like the Lotad line, but is in nature true as well.
I don't really know. I don't know many yokai off the top of my head. I've never played Yokai Watch.
There's also one that's it is a spider that uses like a woman as a disguise to lure people in. And I think that could be implemented well into an Ariados evolution because it's got like the face on its back.
Bro, that's the question. What
Nice.
Pokemon needs an Should we answer that right now? That Twitter thread that was going around, like what Pokemon that has two stages
I started
needs an
that. I
evolution?
just like to say.
Yeah, you did.
I think that's better as its own episode, to be honest.
Yeah, I
We
agree.
could do like
I
a whole
agree.
thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But-
cool. That's
But
cool.
I
An
love that
evolution for
Ariados
Ariados?
idea.
Oh,
No,
man.
that's genius actually. I think if there's any dragon or bug yokai, those are the ones I want. Or Oni
Sure.
even. I know there was an Oni that was like a spider, like an actual Oni spider.
That's cool.
I was thinking that Spidops was gonna get a form and that it was gonna become like a Oni, like henchman of Ogerpon. That's
Oh,
what
dude, right here.
My theory was that, and I was like, man, didn't happen. But
This right here?
yeah, yep, that's it.
That's crazy. They always have like ox faces.
Mm-hmm. It's weird, but when it's translated to a Pokemon, it's a little different.
It becomes cute.
But,
That's crazy. Look at this. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's really just a spider with horns, to be honest. Like
Sure.
in a crazy
Yeah.
Oni face.
And then so did we all answer? Did I answer?
Yeah. Yeah, did you answer? I don't think
I don't
you
know.
answered.
It was what?
I mean, you'd have to look up some Oni or.
I guess
yokai
I don't know any Oni. Actually, yeah. Let me look it up.
Answer for food then, Dusty, because you're
Oh,
a
yeah.
big
All right,
That's
what's
true.
food?
It was supposed
Pokemon
to be
fan.
Food. All of them were supposed to be food. That's what he's. Yeah.
He said animal/food/Oni.
Oh, okay. I must have missed the animal part.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
We
Are-
just
are there
addressed the
any
animal
food
thing
Onis?
earlier, so.
I know there's an
Um,
umbrella. There's an umbrella yokai.
I think.
That could tie in well with that little ghost from the Gen 2 beta.
I think something. This would be kind of sad, but some sort of animal byproduct food that is a ghost type. I think would be kind of cute, right? Like whether it's whether it's like a hamburger or not a burger with the bread and everything, but like I don't know how you would do that, right? would it be like it'd be like a steak maybe, but that's kind of morbid if you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could
I
be
don't know, but
that could
that's
happen.
Probably not a yokai.
I'm not thinking of a yokai. I'm just thinking of a food. What kind of food
Yeah.
Pokemon?
We're out of our depth, Kenway.
Yeah, a little bit. I think,
I
but like, what are some iconic foods that are not represented? Because we have ice cream, right?
Cheeseburger.
But how would you do that? How would you do a
Bro,
cheeseburger?
It's
Maybe
getting close to lunchtime, and I'm just
Take
like,
the vanillite
cheeseburger.
route. Just put a freaking cheeseburger in there.
yeah, I know, but you'd have to like explain it. Maybe it's like a swaddle where it's like or ogre pond where the meat is the burger, but then it finds a burger patty. I don't know, dude.
You could do
A pizza makes sense to me. I feel like a possessed pizza's kind of funny.
They were talking earlier about Italy being the 10th generation.
Yeah,
That would be a
dude.
good Pokemon for
well,
that.
coffee.
In the chat, I mean.
Coffee makes sense to me. Cookie, a chocolate chip cookie.
Cookie could happen.
Oh my god.
I always said make Vanillux get a little more love. Give it regional or variants based on different ice cream flavors. Do like a ice rock, rocky road,
Strawberry. We need strawberry,
ice berry,
pistachio,
strawberry,
black raspberry,
ice grass pistachio.
Yeah. Maybe it's the way it
ice dark black raspberry.
if it interacts with like certain, and they could make some like berry.
Ice brown moose tracks.
Yeah. If it hangs out with a deerling.
Right. Ice. Man, there's so many you could do. Ice Dragon for that Superman one, the one that's like rainbow.
Yeah, that would be cool. Kayla said
Rainbow
a cheese mouse. I love that. That makes a lot of sense.
And
Yes,
what?
Scuba Nick said ghost cheese, and then Kayla said cheese mouse.
Cheese mouse.
Cheese makes a lot of sense.
Oh.
When I came back, just right here, when I left and I came back, I had a piece of Swiss cheese in my hand. So I'm into that.
I don't like.
Wait, we
Swiss.
have a cheese Pokemon, Golden Go. It's string cheese.
It's not string cheese.
I know.
It's
That's
gold.
Official.
I'm
Yeah,
playing.
that's a bunch of coins.
All right. So and then another channel supporter, Vinny Vanil, in our Discord, as a Halloween AMA, what's a ghost type that doesn't feel like a ghost type at all, and what's a mon that should have been a ghost type but is not? Right off the bat, I'm gonna say Oricorio ghost flying type.
There is a ghost flying Oricorio.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that
you're
doesn't.
saying it doesn't fit.
That doesn't
okay, I was
feel-
thinking one that should
Yeah,
be.
that doesn't feel like a ghost type at all. I like it. I can appreciate it
Yeah.
for
yeah.
being an addition to the having the ghost type and kind of. But I don't feel.
Yeah,
I don't.
think
It doesn't
the
feel like a
ghost
ghost type.
I think the ghost type evolved from being like a literal ghost to having spiritual powers and like
There's a
connection
spectrum.
to the dead.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the Pokemon all the ghost type Pokemon right now.
Yeah, I should really look too. I'm just trying to.
Decidueye is the one that comes to my head. I love Decidueye. I'm so happy it has the ghost typing.
Yeah,
So
I
no
agree.
complaints.
I agree.
But just objectively speaking, it does. It's a bird.
It doesn't
it's
look
not a-
like
It should
Yeah,
not
you're
be.
right.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
it
Right.
does. The reason behind it does make
the
sense.
reason behind it makes a lot of sense, but just in terms of just base, like I am looking at that Pokemon, like if I am in the Pokemon world and I see a wild Decidueye, I am not thinking until I pull up my decks and see that it is a grass ghost type.
Oh, someone in the chat said Jellicent, and I think I agree. Why are those things ghost type? Actually,
No, because it's a no. That makes total
they're
sense.
just jellyfish.
Yeah, because
I
they
think-
move like ghosts
But they're
yeah,
jellyfish.
and they
They're
possess
not
ships.
actually dead or anything.
They possess
I
ships.
think
It
that
should have had
that is-
longer tentacles, like Tentacruel.
yeah.
You're wrong.
It's just my answer. Jeez,
You're
Actually,
wrong.
It wasn't even my answer. It was somebody in the chat.
So this is
my God.
Just
not
kidding, just
the
kidding.
question. This is not the question, but this is kind of similar to it. Houndstone should not have been pure ghost. It should have been ghost ground.
Yeah, gross. See, that's interesting. All of a sudden.
Houndstone shouldn't have existed.
Yeah. No, Grievard shouldn't have existed.
That's
more
true,
I-
then
listen, the more I
by
look at-
extension, Houndstone wouldn't exist either.
Listen, now that we're like a year out from
Lunarigus,
Scarlet and
Ghost
Violet,
Dragon.
a lot of these Pokemon,
Yes.
even though they're not what I wished, right? I can still appreciate them for what they are. Honestly, no, Lumi, you said it earlier. It's the string cheese Pokemon. Golden Ghost should not be ghost type. Why is it ghost type?
Because it's possessed.
Oh.
The
Coins
gimme
are
ghoul
possessed.
is yeah.
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 Coins
All
are
right.
possessed.
So what
It makes a
Pokemon?
little more sense than gimme ghoul. I'll grant you that.
Yeah. What? So what
I was gonna
Pokemon
say
should be
Mimikyu,
ghost
actually.
type? No,
What
Mimikyu
Pokemon
makes sense.
should
I know it makes sense, but it could just be anything underneath
It
that.
could be
though.
fairy. Yeah, I love Mimikyu so much.
I don't know.
Let's see. What Pokemon should be ghost type?
should
That
be.
one's that's
That one is
tougher
tough, just
because
to
we're thinking of
recall.
like all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
all of the Pokemon.
I'm looking at all
Um,
Pokemon list.
ooh, I've got one. I think this is best fitting. Parasect.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. That's it.
If
That is
there's one,
it.
it's Parasect.
Or Marowak.
Marowak is ghost.
It did become a ghost.
No, just
It's ghost
Marowak.
fire.
Just Marowak.
Regular
No.
Marowak.
It should
Yeah, sure,
no,
I
it should
can
be
see that.
it should be ghost ground and then it
Sure.
should turn into ghost fire.
You know that like the whole Marowak situation bugs me so much. Like, and
Why?
Sorry.
even the beta like evolution of Marowak doesn't make any sense. Like none of it makes sense to me
Ooh,
because-
Darkrai.
because of
sorry,
Cubone. Like Cubones, yes, Darkrai is the real answer, just so we know. But Cubone's like helmet bone thing is not Marowak's bone.
No, it's different.
Like, what is
Right.
the bone? But skull. That's it. It's not its skull. So
Right.
and it wears the skull of its mother, and it's just like
Mother must have been a Cubone.
Well, that's the thing. Its
There-
mother was something different. Its mother was a Kangaskhan.
yeah,
It's not
but
Kangaskhan,
Or
that's
its
not-
mother was a Charizard. I like that the most. That's my favorite. That's my favorite theory. Where have you
the
heard
other
that one?
thing-
Have you heard that one?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The other thing
Okay.
though is that
That's
like
the one I
it's-
believe.
it's like helmet skull Marowak's is not the same either. So like if it took Marowak's like helmet skull, it's not that either.
Well, no.
Like
The way,
and that there's none without one.
No,
So
the-
like when does it take where it's just so
Ooh.
confusing.
No, so
bro.
this is what
Another
this is
good
what it
one
is.
would be Voltorb line. That could be Ghost.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's literally based on like like things gaining a spirit or whatever after they've been sitting around. Also, kind of in the same category, like for the same reason, Revavroom could be a ghost type. It's
Yeah.
literally a possession.
It'd be cool if a lot of the fossils were ghost instead of rock. I mean, rock
Sometimes
makes
I
sense as a
forget.
fossil.
Sometimes I forget that River Room is not a ghost type actually. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Steel
get-
poison.
It should be
I
still.
get why it's those
I
things.
guess why it's poison does make sense. I think Noctowl could be cool as normal ghost.
Yeah, I think a lot of people say they want like an evolution to Noctowl that's psychic flying. I say do a twist on it and make it ghost flying.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would be fun.
Passion.
Only other ghost flyings, if I'm not mistaken, are Oricorio and Driftbloom.
Hopefully somebody understands my Marowak Cubone.
No,
thing, 'cause I don't.
I was gonna say it does make sense. I think though. Here, my mouse just died. I had to plug it in. We'll bring it up right here. The way I see it is Cubone. So whatever the parent is dies. Probably Marowak, right? And then it.
That's the thing is it's assumed and kind of shown in Let's Go that its parent is a
Yeah.
Marowak with a Marowak skull on it.
I see
So-
what you're saying about the Marowak skull not matching Cubone. The way I thought of it is that Cubone puts the helmet on, and then or the skull on, and then grows into the helmet as it
Mhm.
evolves, which changes the shape and the form of the Marowak skull. That's how that
Right.
makes sense to me. What obviously doesn't make sense though is that if it were to die and fall down, right, its skull falls off. It doesn't actually look like what Cubone's wearing, right? So
Lepika
that does make
had
sense.
some good answers. Lepika said Inteleon, Kecleon, and Cryogonal.
Those are really good.
What about Inteleon? But yes, to the others for sure.
Well, Inteleon, the idea that was there that was that it was supposed to be
Disappears.
like, it disappears in water, right? Kind of like
Right.
Vaporeon. But
It
yeah,
doesn't just disappear in water. I don't think. I think as an Inteleon, it can just disappear.
I think Paris makes a lot of sense. I like that. Parasect would
Parasect
be a great.
is, that'd be my top pick. Yeah.
But the big thing there is like, does it lose grass type? Because it's probably it would. I think it would be bug ghost because it's still a bug, right?
well, yeah. There's
no, it's
there's
the
two ways you
fungus.
can look
The
at
fungus
it. Because
is
the
alive,
fungus takes over. So for
which is
that
the
reason,
grass
be
type.
grass ghost.
I think
but
it would have
for
to be
the-
Grass Ghost.
For
Yeah.
the reason that
Which we
I'm
love
sick
that
of
type.
that typing, I want bug ghosts.
for real, for
That
real.
makes sense. That makes sense.
What
I mean, because in a
else?
way, if it's about the Pokemon,
Yeah.
it is a dead bug, so it's a ghost bug. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the ghost type though. Like it's a dead.
Yeah, I get that, but because there's a lot of there's angles they could take it where it makes sense. I think.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's move on to another question in the Discord. Let's see who hasn't asked a question yet. We got Kuro Blitz here.
Oh wait, before you say that, Kuro Blitz said Ninetales should have been Ghost, and I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
It was
Ninetales
still
would have
fair.
also been good.
I would have probably liked it.
It's also kind of sad that Alolan Ninetales gets 2 typings, but Cantonian only has the 1.
All right. Kuro Blitz asks, if you were to make a new future paradox that's similar to Iron Valiant, a robotic combination of 2 species, which ones would you pick? To me, it would be a Volbeat Illumise called Iron Lights. That's cool.
I don't.
I think they
Kuro,
could listen. I think if they made
I don't want that thing to exist.
but if it was if it was a future paradox, I think it'd look like a little superhero. It would look like what's that anime? Starboy? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That'd be kind of cool. It would look like a little.
I don't know if it's called Starboy, but I know what
flying.
you're talking.
Yeah, the Starboy is the Weekend.
Yeah.
I thought
Any thoughts, guys?
And I thought we agreed not to speak about it.
I'm looking at Pokemon counter type. What are they called? Counterparts?
Yeah. I guess it would have to be a counterpart kind of thing. I think what is his name? Bubbly Boy, the guy that did like the one where it was
It's either Bubbly or Bulby.
Yeah, Bulby
remember.
Boy. Yeah,
he did the Zangoose and Sir Viper one. That was so epic. It
sure.
was like Zangoose's body, but it had like mechanical Sir Viper.
That really would be so
arms.
cool. Yeah.
That one was really good. That's hard to like beat. You know what I would do, Kuro? I would like literally do the same thing, but I would make it more like Gallade instead of Gardevoir.
Yeah.
I would be like, not Iron Valiant, but another one that looks like a swordsman and doesn't have a dress and all that jazz, and has a different weapon. And
You don't like Iron Valiant?
I don't really like Iron Valiant.
I think it's an S tier
I
design.
really don't know why people
think
like
it's cool.
Iron Valiant.
It's so cool. What do you not like about the dress?
It's cool. I guess
I
the
think-
dress. I don't like Gardevoir. It looks like Gardevoir with has nothing
Yeah,
from Gallade other
that's
than
true.
like it's kind of its head and
Yeah.
the scythe thing.
But Gardevoir is I like Gardevoir better.
I don't.
Unfortunately, when talking about Iron Valiant's design, eventually Ku's initial description of it comes to mind.
What was it? What was that?
I don't remember.
I don't
really,
remember
but
either.
Oh,
Just
he
cool.
said it was a waifu with
Yeah.
a.
Oh yeah, that's true. I remember now. That was
Yeah.
funny. That was hilarious.
Because then
though.
people
You
were going,
cannot
he
don't.
put an asterisk for the C, and so people were like, maybe he means Dirk because Dirk is a dagger, and it was
Yeah.
like, nope, he didn't. He did not mean Dirk.
Interesting.
I mean,
I don't remember that at
that's-
all.
It's actually a genius riddle. If you
Stop.
like, it really is though because it's a mix of the two of them. Like it's Gardevoir, but she's a man. Like it's kind of genius.
What about Sableye and Mawile?
That would be really cool. Any
Like Sableye eating like if the theme is that Sableye eats rocks, but its mouth
Mhm.
is the giant maw.
yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Any like counterparts would be epic. Any counterparts would be epic, except for Volbeat and Illumise.
Well, yeah.
Remember
or
the one
Minun?
with Zangoose and Seviper?
Oh, Solrock and Lunatone. That has to be something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it
But
has
what would
to
they
be
do with
in
it?
the garbage?
Yeah. A lot of these I'm thinking past Paradox because they would have to change up the design a little bit. But I feel like Solrock and Lunatone would go together really easily. I could see what if we got like Milotic and Gyarados.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Plus Minun would just be like a robot Pikachu.
I think Milotic could get a past and a future paradox. That'd be cool.
Latias and Latios? Come on.
Yeah, anything's better than their megas.
I know, right? The Megas are so disappointing.
It's the worst.
Honestly, I'm just thinking about these are just like fusions that I'm thinking of, right? Beldum and
That's kind of what it ends up being. But you got to think of like a robot aspect to it too, because it's the.
Did he say
paradox.
future?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he said
paradox.
future. I'm thinking of the past ones. Interesting. Carablast and Shelmet would make it for a really cool design, considering they
Oh,
already come
yes.
together, right?
That would be so
Escavalier.
good.
Yeah, it's almost
It's already.
it would be the body.
Show me.
Yeah, right. It would be the body. It would be like what if what is it called? Yeah, not a Scavalier. The other one.
I was thinking Escelgor and Escavalier mix.
Yeah, that's something. So you have a Selgor's body, but it has like swords, like giant swords, right?
Bulby Boy.
And then a
Make it
helmet.
happen, Bulby Boy.
That would be incredible. That would be so sick. That would be so sick. Anyways, yeah, we could go down this list for a while. That's so cool. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like we need more. We need more. We need more Paradox Pokemon.
Yeah,
For show.
it's possible in the future. Who knows? Maybe they're in a Gen 5 game or something.
I think we're getting some kind of Paradox Unova, and we're gonna see new Paradoxes in it.
All right, we'll you guys want to go till 1 o'clock and then we'll jump out?
Sure, yeah, that works.
All right, next
You got
question.
enough?
Yeah, next question by Yatter King. What is your ideal location for Generation 10? They said Gen X. Gen X is kind of cool. Do you think they're gonna call it Gen X, or like they'll
They
promo
could.
it like that, like
I
generation?
think-
They're never gonna
I
say
think-
generation, but
Next year, Elon Musk is going to purchase Pokemon and call the Gen X.
interesting. He could do
Or
that.
they could just call it Gen X.
Or if we get Gen 5 remakes and Gen 9 and Gen 10
If
comes
Elon
out,
Musk purchases Pokemon, I'm jumping ship. I'm just saying.
if Gen 10 or Gen X also has the X and Y remakes, I mean, come on, man, that's perfect. XX and XY or X, or
True.
right?
True. Yeah.
So what location? We actually just did a whole video about this. That's gonna come out on Thursday.
Yeah, you guys will like
with a
it.
special
It's
guest. Super exciting. We talked about Australia. We talked about Japan, for Gen 10. But any other
Sharon-
locations come to
Sharon
mind?
says Korea. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
that would be cool.
You know what? Italy's mine. Obviously, I want Italy to be one. I don't care if it's another European region. There's so
Yeah.
much stuff there that could be something.
For sure.
But yeah, I just didn't want to be basic. There's so many other places too. You guys can pick other ones though.
I'm excited. So
Um,
Kayla and I are going to be working on a video soon about a New England region. I'm really excited to make that video.
That would be fun.
That would be
That'd be
fun. And for me, the only thing that makes it feel maybe real, and I don't really know how impactful and I don't think it's that impactful. I really don't know. I look at it as the start of the the language I'm about to say, the language that I've already said could be controversial because obviously there were native people here first. But okay,
Obviously.
now I don't even want to go forward anymore.
It was the beginning of.
It's the
what
beginning
is
of the United States. It's not the
today.
beginning
Yeah.
of North America, but it's the beginning of the United
Right.
States. Is New England, right? Obviously, it's not like it's not that that's not my Roman Empire. I'm not thinking about that all the time. But
I think about the United States.
yeah.
Colonization.
I think about the Pilgrims all the time. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
that is one point of
The
significance that I
Mayflower.
like. Yeah, the Mayflower. And I also think, I feel like New England dominates. I feel like it dominates with sports culture, and I feel like it also is related and has a direct rivalry with New York, which is the Unova region. So I think, and also think of it like this: New England, we have New Galar. That's what they could call it, right? So I feel like there's a lot of ties there that I'm going to be working into the Fakemon region that Kayla and I are going to kind of create. But yeah, I don't know. That's my pick.
That's a good one. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I do.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That it would be fun.
But that's fine. What about you,
That'd be
Lumi?
Again, basic. I am a pretty big fan of the Australia thing. Now, I think the true unsung hero is look. We've been. I know Australia is also a continent, but we're not looking into that for a moment. We've been to Asia. We've been to Europe. We've been to North America. I think Africa and South America are due something soon. I
Sure.
do, I want both, but I do really want South America like first because I love the idea of a like an Amazon area, and Pokemon could be so sick. There's a lot of cool, obviously I don't want it to be all of South America, but like, you know, a
No,
part
yeah, it would
of
have to
South
be a part.
America. But like
I
there's so many different options is what I'm saying, cuz like then you if you wanted to do you know, another part you could have Machu Picchu and you could make it Machu Picchu. Um but you know, there's a lot of fun things in South America. Any part of it would really, I think they could do a great job with. But Australia, Africa, or what you be. I know there's. I want to say this, and Soul, this is gonna hurt your feelings, but know that I love you. So a lot of people
This is
want
gonna be
Italy
bad.
next for Gen 10. I do not want Italy for Gen 10
That's.
because
Do you want to know why a lot of people want it next?
why?
Because there is a huge, 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 huge Italian fan base.
That is true. A lot
You
of
understand?
big
There's
people.
I
I
feel
mean,
like
like
that makes a
so
difference.
yourself,
I feel
you
like
know,
many. It does make
Pokios.
a difference. It does
It
make a
does.
difference.
if
They
there's a
they
huge
like
fan base, that's where they're gonna want to make their game around to sell
exactly.
Yeah,
So
to
people are
create a
gonna
bigger
buy it.
community
the
there.
thing is, and I do not mean to offend you, Soul, or any Italians when I say this, but Italy, because it's a Mediterranean based region, it would be very similar, not the same, but it would be similar in vibes to Paldea. And I like when they kind of alternate, like Galar was a more cold focused region, and it was
Mhm.
in between Alola, a warm region, and Paldea, a warm region. So I'd want to go to like a more cold region now. Like
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
I have
honestly,
to I
Cozy,
have to
cozy
push
region.
back. I have to push back a little bit because it's
Japan.
just
Go back to Japan.
it's I understand the cold region thing. That would be a little difficult because it's not that cold of a region.
Not
But
cold, but like
it's
areas.
got stuff like it's got what is it? The Alps are in
oh
Italy?
yeah, the
Yeah.
whole
You know what?
thing.
I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. I feel like that was it. That like was an incidental. I feel like it's not really a trend. It's not a pattern. It's really just like
No, it's not a
whatever we
pattern.
just got to make the next generation feel way more unique, so they can market it as a new shiny bright thing.
Yeah.
Is to just make it different. So
Yeah,
whatever.
it's not a pattern. I'm just saying I liked that. And also
Yeah.
to be real too,
Like, what's
we've
the
gotten
opposite
two
of
gens
Hawaii?
of
It's
Europe.
Galar. That makes sense.
We've gotten 2 gens of Europe. I would like to take a little break from Europe.
Yeah,
No offense
definitely.
to Europe.
That's
'Cause
why I said
Europe
that's why I
regions
said
have
that
been
at the
great,
beginning
but-
because people
Yeah.
a ton of people think that. But I don't know. I think what I was gonna push back on is just like a lot of people don't know like the differences between Spain and Italy, but there's a lot of differences. Like the
Oh,
land
for sure.
the land is very
I mean, the
different.
Pokemon Company doesn't even know the
yeah.
differences between Spain and Portugal.
Yeah, so
Right.
that's the thing is like they would actually really have to do research on any of these places. That's the thing like back in the day with like like the Japan regions, they didn't have to really research them too much because they know like their
Right, they
Japanese
knew 'em.
culture
Yeah.
and all that. But then you would see Masuda and Omori go to these places and like actually like research and be like, "Oh, this is in here and that." But we don't really see them going anywhere these days. Like they went to Portugal a long time ago before they did this. So it's like I don't know. They would have to go to Italy to actually get stuff from it that's actually different from Spain. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Because as a foreign mindset, they just be like, "Oh, they're kind of like the same place," but in reality, they're very
They're
different.
not. Yeah.
That's like my point of all that. I always thought that like if they really wanted to diversify it, they could do one like it's like a Roman Empire kind of. I was thinking about the Roman Empire
Yeah.
as a Pokemon game, basically.
I mean,
You know
that
what
would be
mean?
epic. Yeah, that would be epic.
It would be
Man.
cool though. It'd be like, oh,
It
it's
would be
set in
very
the
cool.
present, but the present is like a Roman Empire theme. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And isn't
be
the whole
pretty
thing is that the Roman Empire fell, so that could be the plot of the story where it, you know,
Mhm.
it's like
There's
it's really the
still-
ego of the evil team that's running the whole region. Then they fall, right?
There's
Yeah,
so much. Yeah, there's so
It'd
much
be really
lore.
cool. I
Yeah.
just would want to
That's kind of like Galar.
take a break
I
because
mean,
like there was a lot
Unova.
of there's some Roman influence in Paldea even there's a lot of Roman influence in fact in the Galar region. I just Europe is really cool and I would hate to leave it forever,
Yeah.
but I say hey, it's Gen 10, let's move to another continent. I think it'd be cooler to do a continent that you haven't done yet, like Australia, Africa, or South America. But Asia would also be really cool because we haven't seen Asia
Yeah.
since as its own
There's
full
a lot of
game
places in Asia
since,
that they could go to as well.
oh
like,
yeah,
tons of places.
it's
I-
honestly a shame the politics stuff going on that you you know, we're unlikely to ever see a China region, because that would be gorgeous.
Yeah. I want to say though, with your suggestion, Lumi, that I think that a South American region is the most likely thing to happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because that one picture.
I was thinking it was least likely.
No, I think it's connected to Spain and Portugal. Think about it like that. Like it is connected.
Sure. Yeah.
Then there's that picture that was in the house of your starting house in Paldea, where they were like, this is a picture of a new region. Like that's like a typical thing where they hint something. And it's the image itself is like the greatest hint to Gen 10 for me. And to me, it's either a Greek region, which makes a lot of sense, like Greece would make sense, or a South American, like Colombia. It looks like Colombia, like Streets of Colombia region, or I mean, possibly Italian, but I doubt it. So to me, that picture is one of those, and I think that those are the most likely, unless like that whole like Australia rumor was like a thing where they were like actually researching Australia. I think that it's a possibility.
Then there's also there is a lot of African influence in Paldea as well. Now
true.
a lot of that but like the South American stuff, some of that, like the South American and the African influence, makes sense based on location, because like, you know, Iberia is right there at Australia, Africa. And then obviously they have their historical ties to South and Central America. But you know,
there's
like,
a lot.
Skeletor's has both South American and African things going on in it. You have obviously for Rigorath, then the whole town of Alfornada.
Yeah, I will say that when I said the Italian fan base is huge, there's a lot of Latin, South American fan bases also.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot. I don't know if it's bigger than the Italian one, because they've been into it for so long. Pokemon fans in Italy, it's like a part of the culture. It's huge.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I love that question.
I like that too.
Yeah. Forever.
And then let's just do
one more.
I mean, there are some more. Yeah, maybe one more. We do got to leave. Did we already answer a question by Jasco? That was Jark. We've been talking to Jark, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jasco says from the Discord, what starters would you pick for the next Legends game? This is sick. I think we already talked about this in an episode, but I would do maybe like Trico or Snivy.
Unfortunately, it depends where it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because it takes away.
Let's say it's Johto. That's next.
Yeah.
Then.
Okay, let's do that.
No.
I think that's the most likely one. If there's a Legends game next,
Legends Kalos. Yeah. So I think the question really is like what.
I think the most.
Yeah. Why don't you do that? Where would you want the next one to be, and what would the stars be? So like, you know, Kalos and these.
Well, Lumi, when is your heart out?
Dusty can say Hoenn, and these are the stars.
Lumi, when do you have to leave by though?
Like 8
We
minutes.
can finish by 1.
It's fine if it's
I know.
like, you know, if it's a little over, that's
well.
fine.
Here's the deal: if we haven't, we're gonna answer this question. But if you haven't answered,
Yeah.
if we haven't answered your question in the Discord, or you have more questions, become a Patreon, become a channel supporter, a YouTube channel supporter. You can get into the Discord. We've got a whole channel. We've got a whole, what is it called? Like a whole channel in the Discord where you can just drop your questions.
Channel.
And I think we want to start doing these AMAs maybe like once a month. So if you get into the Discord, you can drop your questions. We will answer it.
We got way more than I thought we would. Honestly.
We really did.
So, like, it was kind of.
Yeah.
There's no way we're gonna get there, everything.
Yeah,
so.
And also before we answer this question, and then we'll leave because Lumi does have a heart out. Join again. I didn't even mention it, but this website is shop.hiddenpowerpodcast.com, shop.hiddenpowerpodcast.com, or you can go to hiddenpowerpodcast.com. We did start a website. You can't see the whole thing right here. Look at this is us talking.
Hey,
we got some great art up here. We got a lot of plans for the website. The website's set up right now, so you can go here, and then right here at the top, you can't see it, but there's a shop button, and then that'll bring you right to the merch store, hiddenpowerpodcast.com. Anyways, I want to go. Listen, Johto, Unova. I've spent all year thinking about those as Legends games. They'll come eventually, but I'm honestly getting kind of excited. I'm like, Legends, Legends Alola. like how weird can we get it with it?
Legends.
That's like
Marshadow
the one that
could be
nobody
sick.
picked.
Yeah.
Nobody picked that one.
And what's funny is that would probably be my biggest pick as
Yeah.
Alola.
Yeah.
Well, what would your starters be?
Trico as the grass, I think, would be really fitting.
That'd be
there.
cool. Yeah. And listen, as great as Sceptile is, I would like to see another evolution of Grovyle that maybe is a little bit more. I don't know. Sceptile looks like a gecko, but
Sure.
Grovyle looks like a raptor lizard. So I like that a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, but that would be the grass one easily. For fire, I think honestly, what could be kind of cool is going with Chimchar. I think they could
Oh.
have a lot of. I think that could
Yeah, I just thought
end up being really cool.
I just thought of instead of flying, instead of fighting type, maybe it gets like a flying type because it's like, I don't know. I was just thinking of like he had like a staff and he could like control the wind. That makes no sense, but I like that idea.
And then for water, honestly,
Sobble.
Quaxley.
No, I like Quackleval.
I'm not picking these because I hate the final forms. I mean,
Okay.
Sceptile's my favorite grass starter,
Okay.
and Fernape is very close to, like, it's probably second place. Charizard's just too cool, but just these are the ones I try to think what would fit the region really
Sure.
well. Like,
Yeah.
I thought, Oshawott, Rowlet, and Cyndaquil had the whole like Shogun era like vibe to them. It's like a little
So
samurai.
what's the
and
through
Rowlet was
line
a
with
little
these?
larger. Well, with these, they just feel very tropical to me.
Okay.
Trico's this gecko. Quaxley is a bird based off the blue-footed booby, which is in the Galapagos. So another very tropical area.
Yeah.
And then Chimchar, I think rainforest monkeys. So
Okay.
Tepig could also work.
I'm
Tepig could also work. A pig
Yeah,
in
that'd be cool.
Hawaii.
That'd be actually really good.
Mhm.
I
I like
think.
that.
I think Tepig would make sense.
Yeah. In fact, I think I'd pick Tepig over Chimchar now.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
we're
trying
actually
to
we're
think.
we're doing this as if it's an Alola.
That's what I'm doing.
Me
But
too.
if
Okay.
your answer
I like that. Let's do
is
that.
Kalos is the one you want next, then
Yeah, I don't know too much. I don't know how to think of this off the top of my head where
I'm
it connects
literally,
with the
like, in
region.
deep thought, trying to think of every single starter.
I'm
I
thinking
pulled
of
up
it.
a list.
I'm thinking of it as Pokemon. Like what Pokemon, what
You're smarter
starters
than me.
do I like but I don't love? Tepig would be on that list. I think Sobble would be on that list. And I don't know if these are like really cool starters because I feel like they also picked starters that people liked for Legends Arceus, right?
Yeah.
They
it
were
wasn't
like, we're not
they
gonna pick
changed them.
Charizard. What's the next best thing? Cyndaquil. Yeah. What we picked was what we picked in another episode was Fennekin. I think it was Trico and Piplup. I think it was.
Are you talking about like the hints?
No, we just started talking about like what would we want for Legends, for like what starters for Legends, and we made it like a clip on our clips
'Cause the
channel.
hints, notice the quotations, and this all comes from a
Yeah.
trailer showed. It began with the Hisui starters,
Sure.
and they were with another Pokemon. That would imply the next lineup would be Torchic, Snivy, and Piplup.
That's cool.
Torchic,
Two birds?
Snivy.
Two birds.
I mean, they might do two birds. All I know is, so I was gonna do a different one. Did you do yours, Dusty, or no?
I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah, I think I said so. We
I
get
just-
2
I was
minutes.
gonna try to do like a more realistic thing. So I think the next Legends will be Unova, and I think that I'm thinking like they would always do a Gen 4 Pokemon next because they didn't have one
Sure.
in the Legends Arceus.
So what would they
but I don't
pick?
know. I don't know what I
Turtwig?
want it to be. Yeah, I don't want it to be that though. I feel like they'd pick Piplup if anything.
Yeah,
But
so
I don't know.
Piplup,
For me,
and then you have the
personally-
black cat. You have a black cat of Litten.
Yes, Litten was my pick. I was gonna pick Totodile, Litten, and Trico.
You have
I was not
Alligator.
gonna- That's
I
the
like
three
that.
that I would.
And
That's the three I
Trico?
would want. Yeah, Trico,
Okay.
Litten, and Totodile because they're
That makes sense.
popular. I don't know about yeah. Anyway,
They
those
are
are the ones I
popular.
would pick.
I like those.
I think that they would pick Piplup probably. I think there would have to be a Gen 4 and a realistic one, just because they didn't do it last time. But who knows?
All right.
That's
Well,
my-
that's it.
those are my picks.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Thank you so much for being here.
Happy Halloween!
Yeah, it was fun.
If you're watching the
was a lot of
playback
fun.
of this, there's videos right here. You can click these videos and watch another 3 hours
Oh,
of us
no
somewhere
way.
else. Thank you so much. Happy Halloween. We'll see you next time. Tune in on Thursday. Oh, I didn't even say this. And then we also make sure you become a channel member or a Patreon and get by I think the end of November, and then we'll be getting your mailing addresses and mailing you some holiday gifts, some physical holiday gifts. But we'll see you soon. Peace.
Bye. Are we still live?